Ah, visitors. Well, thank you for stopping by, but I'm afraid I'm no longer part of the society you're looking for. Well, I can tell you what they've been up to and where you can find them. Last time, the investigators successfully banished their first Vaesen. After confirming that the strange bird plaguing the moor was a myling, they used all of the information they had gathered to put it to rest. They decided to burn the journal of Gabriel Sandeman, identifying it as an object of hatred for the myling. Burning the journal pacified the creature, and the investigators proceeded to dig up the child's remains in the moor to properly lay them to rest in a grave with their mother. The ritual was mostly successful, though the investigators were unable to give the myling a proper name before putting it to rest. As a result, Johann now finds himself haunted by the lingering spirit of the child. With the moor now safe and secure, the investigators recruited August to join their new society and headed back to Uppsala to recover and prepare for the next mystery. And this is where their story continues. Good evening, fellow geeks. Welcome to our next episode of Vaesen. We are back this week. Sorry we missed you all last week, but we're all excited to be here and get into some more mysteries. So this is our Vaesen campaign. Before we get into any more details on the campaign itself, let's talk about the awesome players that we have with us playing this game. We'll go ahead and we'll start with Bill tonight. Bill, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about Bill, the real-life person, and Johann, the fictional Vaesen character.
Hi, I'm Bill. I'm a podcaster. You can check out Escape This Podcast if you like audio escape rooms. You can check out Solve This Murder if you like audio murder mysteries. Go and listen. They're great. I am playing Johann Bostrom, who is a wealthy academic. Fun fact about Johann Bostrom, like many wealthy people in the 1800s, Johann Bostrom has eaten a mummy. People in the 1800s got obsessed with eating mummies, and Johann had a little taste, and didn't much care for it. But he still claims that it's what fixed his liver problems. It's not, but he claims that it is. So, like many wealthy people, he's had just a smackerel of mummy.
And he wonders why he sees the supernatural. Interesting. That's fantastic. What a good one. I love it. Yeah. Let's go with M next. And why don't you tell us about yourself and about Katrina?
I'm M. I love TTRPGs and all of their formats. I like playing. I like running games. I like reading rules and debating with people. It's a great time. That's who I am. My character is far more interesting. Her name is Katrina Nordenflicht. She is 46-year-old retired officer from the Army. She's pretty well off to do and is great friends with most of the people here. Fun fact about Katrina, she tries to keep it a secret, but she freaking hates horses. Last time, Johann insisted we bring a horse, and she had to keep a stiff upper lip with all of that. But man, horses stink, and they can break your foot if they step on you, and you have to be careful when you walk around them. This is ridiculous. Like, no, horses are overrated. And
is this why she left at the end of the campaign?
Yeah, she was like,
the mystery with us?
Robert's got a horse. I hate this thing. Yeah, so she's not a fan of horses.
All right. I love that. That's great. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Thanks for joining us, Em. Next up, we have Tori. Tori, tell us about yourself and tell us about Constance.
Yes. Hello. My name is Tori. I am another one of the Level 1 Geek crew, and I'm playing Constance Doyle, who is the investigator of the group. Let's see, my fun fact is that she, as we have seen, I guess if you're new around here, you haven't seen, but the rest of you have seen, she enjoys the attention and company of others, particularly in romantic contexts. And as such, she has garnered the attention of many a suitor over the years. And whenever anyone asks her what her favorite flower is, because they would like to send her flowers or, dazzle her with gifts and that sort of thing, she changes the answer every time. And that's like a way for her to keep track of where these flowers might be coming from, so that she, always knows, like, if a surprise gift comes or something, she always knows who it's from, even if they left it like anonymous or secret or whatever. She will just frequently change the answer of what her favorite flower is. If you asked her today, she would say daisies.
Ooh.
How lovely. What fun facts
Everyone
we
would
got
know
today.
that's a lie. Nobody likes daisies. Daisies. No one hates daisies.
But
They're
Constance
right
is
there.
a
They're in the
great
middle.
liar. She would convince you, Bill, that she did actually like daisies. She was the one person in the world.
Sure.
Fantastic. I love it. We'll have to roll for that at some point. And let's go next with last but not least. Matt, why don't you tell us about yourself and tell us about Robert?
Hello, my name is Matt. You can find me as Improv and D&D everywhere. And as far as Robert is concerned, of course, he is the servant of Mr. Johann Bostrom. He most of his duties he's all right at. He's mostly there for muscle, for beating and wrestling and that sort of thing. But I'd say that a fun fact about him, we already mentioned that he, of course, has his necklaces, the B and the R, that he will tell people, if really pressed about it, that it stands for Bostrom and stands for Robert. Of course, it stands for his loves, but if it's someone that seems like they're maybe a little suspicious, that he doesn't want them to know his name nor his lord's name, he will simply attribute it to say, like, yeah, it stands for my two loves, and very intimidatingly say battling and wrestling.
Perfect.
I love that. Fantastic. Wow. You guys, these creative, awesome character facts. I love it. Excellent group of people we have. Excited to play with you all tonight. I'm Chase. I'm the game master for this campaign, part of Level 1 Geek with Tori and Em, and also Katie, who I'd like to shout out, is in the background, chatting with you guys in chat on that Level 1 Geek account, taking care of all of your chat interactions, and just kind of keeping things running for us today. So thanks to Katie. I'll throw out a fact. I'll throw out a GM fact, is that in this campaign, it has not happened yet, but I do have planned in this campaign, I've made my very first TTRPG character an NPC in this campaign. Because I felt like it, I haven't played him in a very long time, and I was pretty novice when I played him, so I'm going to see if I can do him more justice.
We'll have to try and
this time
figure out how old Chase was when he started playing tabletop role-playing games, when he's like, and then you meet a character who's called Kick-Ass Cool Bod. Oh, okay,
Right, I love that game. That's fantastic. So yeah, that's us, everybody. Thank you for joining. Before we get started, I want to give a few thank yous. I already gave a thank you to Katie. Again, thanks for running production, Katie. Also, big thank you to Free League, who are the creators of this game that we are playing, Vaesen. It's a fantastic game. I would highly recommend it. We are also running some adventures from their various different books they have full of mysteries. The last one, as well as the next one we're going to be starting, are from this book. Right here, let's see if I can get that beautiful art, Seasons of Mystery. It's a good one. I highly recommend it. It's got 4 fantastic mysteries in there. So yeah, we're kind of running mysteries from different books and making a campaign of it, because Vasen's very good for doing that. I also want to give a big shout out to Knights of the Steel. They have a fantastic app called NPC for Hire, and they were kind enough to let us use the character art from that app for our stream for this little series. So all these awesome character art that you see in our portraits, that's from NPC for Hire. It's a free app to download. Recommend checking it out if you want some art to use during your campaigns. You can just generate a bunch of awesome NPC art such as this. So big thank you to them. And then also a big thank you to everybody here in chat. I already see we're on a hype train. Holy crap, we just barely got started. Thank you so much, everybody. I see new names in chat. I see bits. I see subs. Just huge thank you to everybody. We appreciate you very much. As you guys are doing these things, we do have some chat interactions for you guys to participate alongside with us. So Just to go over some of those kind of quickly, if you see the blessed and cursed here in the middle of the screen, those are dice pools. You guys can give those with your channel points. Blessed dice are just extra dice that the party can use, no strings attached. They're fantastic. Cursed dice are pretty much the exact same thing, but there is strings attached, which is that if they succeed on a cursed dice roll, I get to add some kind of GM decided consequences or twist or something, to the roll. I've decided maybe it won't necessarily be bad. Maybe it'll just be weird. It's cursed, that's up to my discretion.
He's only saying that to make you give us cursed dice.
Yeah,
Don't
no
do it.
kidding.
Wait, did I upsell the cursed dice more than the blessed? I don't think so.
I've got a quick thing before we start.
Go.
We're all going to play. We're going to play a game, and the game is Chamomile or Daisy.
Oh, God.
I was pretty confident until you asked me that question.
I have no training in nature. I wouldn't know.
See, I thought that chamomile was yellow, but they were also yellow in the background there, so I'm bamboozled.
Okay, so here, Chamomile or Daisy?
I'll say Daisy.
Sure.
I'm gonna go chamomile just because
all right,
you threw
let's
that
go
out there.
50-50. I'll go chamomile with him.
These are daisies.
Damn it!
Okay.
I trusted my
yes.
instincts.
I thought they were daisies, but I wanted to keep it evenly split.
Chamomile or Daisy?
Daisy.
Daisy.
Those look identical to the last one, except maybe more stemmy.
They do look identical. This is chamomile.
Down you, sir!
Wow.
Playing tricksies with me.
That's why nobody likes this flower.
This is why Johan is wealthy. He proves very strong points.
This is like an exact exchange, I think, that Constance and Johan have had when maybe one day Constance received like a delivery of daisies and and thus began the lecture of nobody really likes daisies. Are you kidding? You can't tell the difference between this flower and this flower.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna like a daisy, may as well like a chamomile because it looks exactly the same and you can make it into tea.
Okay,
that makes sense to me.
But Johan,
pretty fair.
I think, Bill, this is maybe the root of how we hired a gardener.
This is where he got a gardener.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You were like,
The
one
I
person.
love it.
oh, these aren't daisies, these are chamomiles. What's he talking about? This is chamomiles, definitely.
Fantastic. I love that. Thanks for that. Thanks for that insightful flower lesson. For the rest of you, chat.
You can't encourage this behavior.
It's fantastic. We love that behavior. For the rest of you guys, chat, we also have a couple of community goals. You guys can pull your points towards an adversary or an ally to be added to the campaign. Both goals were met last mystery. The ally was August, who gave them another player in the form of Katie playing August last session. And also, August is going to provide a free downtime activity at the start of mysteries. And the adversary was the sketchy tattoo, scorpion, and skull fellows. Secretly in my brain, whichever one you guys redeemed first, I was going to make those tattoos either an adversary or an ally, and you redeemed villain first, so they're adversaries, and we'll get more into that as the campaign continues. And then for those of you who are giving bits, subscriptions, for those of you who are Patreon supporters, you guys can give sponsorships, and we're going to give an example of sponsorships to you guys right now. They basically give boons to the players on the following session, and at the start of the session we will do a little role-playing shout out to whoever is the sponsor. So I think we have two today, right? I think we have Katrina and Robert. Katrina, why don't you do have one, right? I'm remembering correctly.
I have one. Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about who helped you out?
All right. So I have this shady contact by the name of who only goes by the moniker Wombat. He wanders the streets of Uppsala, and so cool. So I was like, hey man, I got all this money from this woman who died, and I helped her, so she gave me her fortune. I don't know what to do with this. And so Wombat took some of my cash and is handling an investment for me. I will potentially have strong returns on that. We'll see what happens.
Fantastic. I love that. Yeah, we'll get into the details. So that gives you a free push on your resource roll. Is that correct? Mechanically?
Yeah. I get, so when I roll my resource to see how many capital I have to work with for this mystery, I will have a push to it, so I can push again for free.
Fantastic. I love that. Very cool. Thank you. And then Robert, you also had a sponsorship. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about that one?
Yes. So my sponsorship is from the Anthrama Corporation, which is quite the big multinational conglomerate that does all sorts of like medical research and whatnot. There are some whispers about their ability to prolong people's lives, which I'm sure that research will go fine. But the Anthrama Corporation also has something that is very powerful in that they have been developing certain serums and whatnot that help as far as like disguises and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine that Robert has been contacting them, trying to see if there's any sort of correlation between this and a sort of Vaesen that Robert has been intrigued by, the changeling, to see if there's any sort of anti serum or something that you could use to suss one out. And so as a result, with like a little quid pro quo, Robert also will send back information whenever he encounters Vaesen, so that Anthrama Corporation will be able to get those details. And as a result, I get a free push on my resource roll as well.
Fantastic. I love that. 1800s medical research sounds like a horror genre of its own, if I'm going to be real. And I
These
think
freaks
that's
are
so
still
cool.
out there eating mummies for health benefits. Dummies.
Awesome. I love it. So a big thank you to Anthrama and to Wombat Fuzz. Thank you so much for your sponsorships. And it looks like we're going to have a whole bunch more sponsorships next session. So you guys have to make sure you tune in for that. Also, we had the recap at the start of this session via the little snippet that we played at the beginning. So if you guys missed that and you want to recap more, we have been putting our episodes on YouTube. They go up Friday at 6 p.m. following the session on Twitch. So if you guys can't make it to a session, or if you want to catch up, check that out. And if you do, please help us feed that algorithm over on YouTube. We're trying to grow over on that platform. So tell your friends about it, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscription, you know, all the good stuff. We would much appreciate it. So thank you, everybody. Just huge thanks to all of our supporters, all of our chatters. We love you all very much. So without further ado, I think that is all of our starting stuff. So why don't we go ahead and let's hop on into the session. Now, we have just wrapped up our first mystery. You guys have returned home to Uppsala. And in Vaesen, typically, mysteries have pretty good gaps of time between them. Not always, but often. So as of right now, before we start the next mystery, we are going to go through a little bit of a time skip and kind of a little bit of downtime. So we finished in the middle of autumn for our last mystery. We are going all the way through winter. We're going all the way through spring, and we are going to summer. So almost a full year is going to pass before we start our next mystery. So why don't we just kind of go around table? Let's talk about things that your characters might be doing during this period of time. You don't have to do anything significant. We can just kind of talk about what your characters do between mysteries. Or if you do have something you want to actively search on, do research on, interact with, we can do that as well. Just so you guys kind of know where you're at mystery-wise. You guys do have living quarters at your castle. And you guys did get some resources to upgrade your Castle Gillenkreuts last time. And you guys as a group have decided to add a gardener to your staff. So before we go to individual stuff, let's talk about this gardener. You guys get to create this NPC. Mechanically, the gardener makes it so whenever you eat a meal at your castle, it's always considered nutritious, which is not like a super fleshed out mechanic, but it could be relevant for, you know, any kind of weird Vaesen-y type thing, and just nutritious food is good. And also they can supply you with some doses of poison. So yeah, who wants to start on talking about this gardener?
Who suggested the gardener? Was it Bill?
I think it was either Bill or Robert, or maybe like both in sync. Maybe Tori.
I think
pretty much everybody but
I just
UM.
said the gardener sounded cool. I think I said like there were a couple things that sounded cool, and the gardener was one of them.
Yeah, and I think I think that's how it worked out. And then Matt was like, "Yep, I love the garden idea," and I thirded the idea.
And then Em was
I
like,
think-
I want to see how people want to poison people.
I was just so shocked.
But it was the function though is all food from the headquarters automatically counts as nutritious. That's good too. It's
It
just
is.
also the poison is also
And we're
interesting.
beautifying the castle.
Yeah.
He's tending to the grounds.
Okay, I have an idea for where to start with this.
Go for it.
Okay. Constance comes to you all one of these days. And so I was thinking that we're trying to build up this new society, right? And while inside the castle is in desperate need of a great many repairs, if we are to make a good impression on the rest of town, we should worry about the outside first. So I was thinking that we could field maybe some applications for some groundskeepers or gardeners to beautify the grounds and, well, to put it frankly, make us seem less creepy, because I think that sort of reputation will help us in the long run. If we are seen as upstanding and approachable, we'll generate more business that way instead of being, well, hidden away in some sort of creepy castle. What do you all think?
It is true that currently our front yard does sort of look like a haunted house. People do need to go through an overgrown hedge and then there's like rats living in there, and then all the trees are dead, and it is a very spooky. It's the middle of spring. Not all the trees should be dead. It does seem very strange. So I agree. And our drawing room, our foyer is very schmick. People don't need to see the more dilapidated wings of the castle. I think this is a good idea. I could get one of my men. I do have 17 gardeners at my other estate. I don't know if you've been keeping track, but things have improved vastly for Johann Bostrom in the last year. So I'm sure I could spare some of my staff to clean up the grounds here as well.
And that's game mechanics speak for Bill added 2 resource upgrades for his level ups.
So for people who are not aware, which is all of you, I leveled up as do we all. I had a very clear path that I wanted to achieve with my level up. I had 2 things to achieve, and so I have gone from, and I'll tell you what I used to be. I used to be well off. I had a big house, probably multiple sources of income, several employees. Now I am one of the richest people in all of Sweden. I hang out with the king. I have direct contact with the rulers. I own several castles, and really there's no expense too great. So I am filthy rich in terms of game mechanic. I think I've decided that one of the big things was, before heading down to fix the Moreland Society in Denmark, I decided to use the troubles to buy the Moreland Society in Denmark. And so once we fixed it, my wealth has skyrocketed. All of the new development that's happening at Grimstedling is all, at least mostly, owned by me. I invested in a few things in Uppsala and all that, and I just basically really kind of we flipped Denmark, and I made a profit.
Was this like insider trading before insider trading was
this
a thing?
is insider trading before there were laws against it. So I knew they were in trouble. I knew we were about to fix it, so I bought the company for pennies on the dollar, and it has since exploded in value. And I am an incredibly, incredibly wealthy man. So yeah, you can have some of my gardeners. I don't need them.
Fantastic. I love it. So there we go. Gardener recruited for the height, or for the castle. So
Can I put forth a vote that the gardener is like a little creepy?
Yes, I second this vote. All in favor? For a
Yeah,
creepy gardener?
I'm good with that decision. Constance will be kind of annoyed because that sort of works against her efforts to
Yeah.
make them appear less creepy and more approachable.
They're just
I like
always
it.
ominously cutting hedges, watching people. Amazing work.
The hedges are beautiful.
Best.
The garden looks phenomenal, but people come up, right, and they're like, "Oh, what beautiful! You've got like apple trees in the," and then suddenly, like from behind them, without. them
Hey,
noticing,
thank
they-
you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll
It's
go
my
get
vote that
myself.
M is the creepy gardener.
Is it because I can open my eyes extremely wide?
Yes.
Hey,
I mean,
thank
that
you very
sold me.
much.
But I'd also like to add a caveat, which is that he is incredibly creepy,
Mhm.
but in no way, but he's a lovely guy. Like he's a really good guy. He's just
I've got a fancy cup of tea for you.
Yeah, he's just accidentally creepy. He wishes the best for everybody. He loves his garden. He loves everyone. He's just a massive accidental creep about.
I put something really special in this one.
Yeah, and then he just does have something. But that's what I would like.
Okay, I want Matt to name the gardener then.
Horace. Is
Oh,
this
yes.
is this one of Bostrom's old gardeners then?
No,
or-
he's new.
Oh,
He's new. I've only had
okay.
him in the last year. The old gardeners are at my new estate.
Oh,
but,
make sure you won't regret it.
This is good. You can see why I didn't want him at home. He's allowed to be here because when I'm here at the castle, I'm already on sort of like creepy Vaesen alert. So he just sort of blends in. But
I think
didn't
it's a
want him at
perfect
home.
match.
He was always looking through the windows. I didn't
I wanted to
appreciate it.
see what inside life was like.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's very nice in there. But this is your new. You can have a shack.
Oh, for me.
Oh man, what a fantastic gardener. All right, Horace the gardener has joined the party. Congratulations. Excellent. Okay, very cool. I love that. So we kind of went over what Bill did to level up. Does anybody else want to talk about how they have improved or how they are improving over these 9-ish months?
Oh, can I just quickly get one more scene out of my head?
Absolutely, please do.
Which is that August is living in the castle, and he gets up in the morning and he thinks, "Oh, I'm going to get some piano practice done." And he walks into the main hall, and then he opens the door. Horace is sitting at the piano, going, "Ding, ding, 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 ding." Just one note, just looking at him. That's it. I'd like that scene. Just everybody, just picture
I
that.
like the way it sounds.
Speaking of August, how have August and Constance's relationship been over these 9 months, Tori?
Oh, it's been 9 months? Okay.
9-ish months.
So there's a new child. What's their name?
Well, I was actually going to say that this segues perfectly into my level up. I took a new talent that is called Well Traveled.
Wow.
Ouch.
So that is how that's been going. Yeah, Constance, I think, has taken this time, I guess, sort of pseudo time off of Vaesen hunting to travel around. She's been working on just a great many other cases, not supernatural related, but just other things. And has really tried to get out and about all across this region and everything. The talent mechanically lets me establish an NPC in once per mystery in the area we're going to that I have met. And then Chase gets to fill in details about how exactly what maybe has changed about them. And if it's a bad check for me, then they maybe don't like me very much. But if it's
so
a good
fun.
check, they could be favorable NPCs. So anyway, yeah, she's just out and about making connections, and she checks in like frequently enough that you guys aren't ever like worried about her. She'll send letters and things back to the castle, but her letters are always here's my scene that I'm adding for August. I think like at first August is usually excited to get the mail, especially when he sees that there's like a letter from Constance, but it's always addressed to like the group. You know, it's like miss you guys, like thinking of all of you, like it's just like pluralizing the whole group and keeping it very, very generic like that. So yeah, that's what she's been up to. And then we can dive more into this later, Chase, but I don't know, whenever you want to. She has also been trying to find more information on that marking that she saw a couple times during the last mystery with the skull kind of scorpion combo, the guy's tattoo and then the marking in the graveyard. So she's been trying to dig up any info on that.
And you saw them a third time.
And the dudes on horseback, which were crazy. So yeah, she definitely wants to figure out what's going on there.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll dive into those kind of investigatory things pretty soon. Very good. I love that. That also reminds me, just for an idea of like how you guys probably run things during downtime like this. You guys don't have like a set schedule. You kind of make your own. You take things as they arise. And I imagine during this downtime, you're probably contacted for little jobs and investigations. But as you probably learn, you guys get a lot of false leads. A lot of people think a lot of things are supernatural and they end up being pretty mundane. So you guys may have taken little jobs here and there or done little investigations here and there, but nothing major has come out of it during these 9 months.
I actually have one last thing that what you just said made me think of it. The other talent I took for leveling up is called Sixth Sense. And it's basically a vibe check that I can, if I do an investigation check, I can use my bonus successes to kind of sense if I'm getting heebie-jeebies or not. And so I think that's a sense that Constance has honed over these several months as we've gotten all of these false leads to kind of like, she's gotten really good at being able to quickly tell like, oh yeah, there's definitely something like weird here and supernatural, or like, no, clearly this guy is just cheating on his wife and like is trying to cover it up, or like clearly the dog was really just sick because it got into, the cake or whatever, like just the mundane versus the supernatural.
Yeah, for sure. Another cool thing about that feat that it doesn't really mention in the rule book, but in a lot of these mysteries, there are bits of information that are like, if a character has the Sixth Sense talent, they get something a little extra. So
that's nice.
Love it. All right.
Yeah. Very cool. So Johan became filthy rich.
Mm-hmm.
You got some vibe checks and some traveling. Katrina, what's your kind of general has been for the last 9 months or so? Anything special?
Yeah. So actually, I have connected up with an old army friend, someone who else is also retired, and I expressed to them that I've always wanted to know like more about keeping people alive. I've done a lot of like emergency medicine on the field in my officer days, and last time Robert, I almost called him Roger. Robert got really hurt. And so I took emergency medicine so that I can ignore conditions when I do medicine checks.
Oh, nice.
Hooray.
Yeah. And then I also got better at inspiration because I figured that was something we're all really bad at and I was okay at. So I'm going to start trying. And I did that whole inspiring talk with your name isn't up there, Connie. All right. Yeah, Connie. Yeah. I was like, hey, sometimes Johan's just a little bit of a bitch. You gotta be okay with that. It's a little fussy sometimes. And it's okay. And so, yeah, I upped that inspiration so I can think of better words than bitch. There we go.
I love it. Fantastic.
Also, for people playing along at home, Daisy or
I'm going to say
chamomile?
chamomile because it's in cups.
Trick question. This is somebody making Daisy tea.
Wow.
Why are you this way?
That's tricky.
I regret choosing Daisy now. Today it's
that's so
Carnation.
Oh, good stuff. All right, what about you, Robert? What's Robert been up to for the last 9 months or so?
So Robert, of course, he's very well equipped when it comes to close combat. And so when the last adversary had shown up, especially in the flying form of a raven, he realized, well, crap, I can't jump that high. I'm not going to be able to punch something that's flying in the sky, and so he decided to start learning how to do more ranged combat. So I've put a point in that. I'd say specifically, and I mean I'm gonna pick on August because we all are kind of, and I would ask August, hey, would you help me with some target practice? And essentially, I'm gonna have him. I'll be like, hey, make sure to bring some fruits, and I'll have him put like apples and stuff on his head, and I'll just throw knives. I'm just throwing knives at the fruit on his head, and I'll be like, all right, now I need you to run with the apple. I'm gonna try to hit the apple while you're moving now.
This is like initiation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Robert has full faith, especially since Katrina's learning how to be a doctor, kind of. So then,
Mishaps are just more opportunities.
yeah, she'll have plenty of practice. But additionally, Robert is gonna go look for Horace, and he'll like, I imagine that Horace has like a neat little shack. That's
Oh yes, it's very neat.
And I'll do like a quick knock.
Enter.
Oh, don't talk to Horace, please.
All right. Hey, can I? Hi. I need your help.
No, right then. And Horace is needlessly shirtless and like has a towel over their head, and they're slowly massaging their scalp with this towel. What can I do for you?
Great. And Robert is going to be kind of like not facing him, but he'll say, so I was thinking, you know a lot about plants and you know, stuff, right?
Oh, I dabble with plants.
Great. So have you dabbled with plants that tend to, you know, mess people up internally?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, great.
That's kind of a weird question.
Great. So what I want to do, here's the thing. I want you to give me the weakest of the mess people up internally plants. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it and slowly and steadily become less messed up internally.
Oh,
I'm to get
the
used
old
to it.
iocane powder.
it's very strange. All right, well, I'll get you messed up on the inside. This is what I
Yeah.
got. Come over here.
Yeah, do you have a plant that can do that?
Yes, come on over into my corner.
All right.
And then in my corner, there's like this. So there's like lift a bushel, right? And then lift it up. And there's a potted plant with little red, like pointed flowers on it. You know what this is?
No, what is it?
This is called scarlet tongue.
Scarlet tongue?
Yeah. And he just
Ooh.
kind of flickers his tongue at you just a little bit. Like that.
Oh,
His tongue.
wow. Is that
Yeah.
how I eat it? Just like a little
No.
how
That was
do
a ridiculous question.
how do I take it?
All right, so you're going to do this. And he plucks one. Don't touch the red bit. He's very carefully just holding the green bit.
Mhm.
All right. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to dry it for 6 to 8 months to increase the potency. Then you're going to grind it into a very fine powder.
Okay.
And you're just going to right up the nose.
All right. So if I want to baby step into this, can I dry it for a day? Take it? Dry
You're not
for
going
2
to
days,
dry
and
for that.
take it?
You could put it onto a stove and saute it.
Oh,
Yes.
great. All right. But
But then you got to throw away the pan.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Sir, he's not going to miss any pans.
You can borrow my pan if you want.
I will, and then you can make a request for a new brand spanking new pan.
Oh, I've never had a new pan
Yes.
before.
All right.
How did this turn into a con? Now you're doing a job. Now you're pulling a con on Johan. I don't like this.
Great. So I'll saute. I'll take it, and then like through the process of this, I imagine it'll tie into both trainings where I'm going to Katrina saying like, "I'm sorry, Katrina. I'm not feeling very well. Would you check up on me? Would you check this out?" And then I'll go back and forth between having Katrina check on me, building those medical skills, and then also going to August while I'm partially poisoned and throwing knives at him. And that builds up my robust talent, which is another servant talent, which means you may ignore penalties for physical conditions on one roll per gaming session. So I imagine as I'm throwing knives, it's like I'm dealing with the poison. I'm able to handle it slowly and steadily. So I'm a little bit better at staying focused and at 100%, regardless of what happens to me.
Fantastic. I love that build up. So good. Awesome. All right. So that is kind of the general idea of what everybody is up to during the downtime period, just for their kind of state of being. Now, I will also here, we'll move on to the more in-depth downtime type phase. If this is optional, if your characters don't have anything they want to chase on, you don't have to. But if anybody has something significant they want to research into, they want to interact with, if they want to do some kind of like scene of some sort, such as looking into the scorpion thing, Tori, everybody can do one of those here between this mystery. So we'll go reverse order here. Robert, is there anything that you would like to chase on between this mystery?
I'd say I probably got my hands full as far as poisoning myself and throwing knives at August, so I think I'm good.
Fantastic. I do have a forced event for you, however. So why don't you go ahead and why don't you roll me a manipulate check?
August kills you in the night for constantly throwing knives at him. Snaps. He doesn't want
Katie's
to take
messaging me on the side. She's like, murder Robert. She's not really. That'd be funny, though.
I have 0 successes on manipulate.
Okay. Would you like to push this blindly with no idea what it is?
There are blessed and cursed dice too.
Oh, yeah.
8 blessed,
roll.
5 cursed.
I'm going to roll 3 cursed dice.
Please do. There you go.
That's 1 success.
1 success. Fantastic. So now you're going to have a surprise visitor at the castle here. And with no other context, with that 1 success, why don't you choose one other person, whether it be NPC or player, to be present at the castle at the same time?
Oh, Constance.
Excellent.
I was really hoping you would pick me. I'm so curious.
Chase, I have a question real quick.
Yes.
While you're doing this, could I step away and let my dog out to go potty?
Yeah, please do,
Okay.
because that is also my dog. So.
Okay, sounds good. We're back.
All right. Awesome. All right. You are at the castle. Everybody else is out right now, except for you and Constance, out on other business, doing other things. Even Algot is currently out doing runs for supplies for the castle.
That's our
you-
butler guy, right?
Yep, Algot
Okay.
Frisk is your
Okay.
butler. And you receive a knock on the castle door. Constance, Robert, you're both in this scene, so you both hear the knock.
Constance assumes that Robert is accustomed to getting doors, so
Yeah.
she is gonna not move to get it.
In fact, Robert is going to run there before Constance says anything because he doesn't like taking any orders from Constance. So he's going to do it before she can say anything.
I love it. He just rushes to the door. All right.
She's
yes.
drinking
why I
daisy
do-
tea or chamomile. It's impossible to tell.
Nobody knows. That's why we hired the gardener.
Yeah.
Now, your door does have a peephole. Are you peeking who's at the door before you answer, or you just...
I'm just opening it.
Fantastic. Yeah, so you open the door, and there is a uniformed officer of the law at the door. He's got very thick brown mustache, hat tucked under his side, kind of a hat type helmet, blue and gold buttoned down uniform, saber at his side. Good evening, sir. I'm looking
Hello.
for either Johann or Robert. Are either present today?
I am Robert. How may I help you? Are you here for? Are you sure you're not here for Miss Doyle?
Miss Doyle, I am not familiar with the name. Another resident of this
Hearing her
Castle?
name, she'll get up from the couch in, I guess, study or wherever she is and kind of wander up toward the door.
Yes, another resident.
Excellent. My name is Officer Larson. He'll tap a badge that he's wearing on his breast. Do you mind if I come in for a chat for a moment?
Not at all. Please, Miss Doyle. This is Officer Larson.
Yes, I've just made a fresh pot of tea, if you'd like some.
That would be most lovely. Thank you, Miss Doyle.
I love chamomile tea, but I'm deathly allergic to daisies.
He steps in and he takes a look around the castle, kind of awestruck as he's going through. Your castle is still quite unfinished, but it's getting nicer. You know, the front entrance is not quite as scary with
The
the new
gardens look great.
Yeah. Yep, things are getting cleaned up, but you know, it's still pretty minimal in terms of interior. So just a formality to start off with. Do you have proper paperwork to claim residency to this castle? Linnea had handed over paperwork to you.
Yes, of course. Do you need to see that?
If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it.
Could I... Is this like a... Constance would know enough about the law to know if basically she could push back, like basically be like, I don't have to, you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, you would know without reasonable cause. You don't have to. Though, of course, it could make you look suspicious if you don't want to.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, she'll go get it, but she will definitely put up an air of like, okay, like I'm doing you a favor, you know, like it's terribly inconvenient, but like I'll do it anyway kind of thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah, well, Constance is going to grab the paperwork. He'll turn towards Robert. Where are you going to sit this officer down? Library, kitchen? You guys probably have a common area?
Yeah, if there's like a nearby sitting room fairly close to the front door, Robert would take him over there and probably try to make some small talk. Like, you ever use that saber on anyone?
Unfortunately, yes. Though I try to not.
I understand. How many?
I'd rather not discuss such matters. May we move on to the business at hand here? I don't want to take any more of your time than is necessary.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm just trying to make some small talk. You know how it is.
Yes, of course. I do appreciate the hospitality. Officers not always quite so welcomed. I will skip, I suppose, to the matter at hand. Robert, what is your surname?
Wong.
Robert Wong. Have you ever been to Prague?
I've been there once before.
He takes out a notepad and a writing utensil and starts scratching down some notes. Constance, you can return at this point if you want.
It took some digging, but here are all of the requisite papers. I believe you will find everything is quite in order.
He'll take the papers and he'll very respectfully rifle through it and take a look. Excellent, thank you. I must say, an impressive residency. I would be curious at another time to hear how you came by such an acquisition. I didn't know the previous owner, but this castle has stood here for quite some time.
Well, it sounds like you didn't just come for a tour, then. How can we help you?
I suppose I will bring you into this question. Constance, was it?
Yes, Constance.
Thank you. Have you ever been to Prague, Constance?
I'm going to say yes, because she is now well-traveled. So,
I
yes,
like it.
I have had the pleasure of visiting Prague a time or two.
Excellent. Recently or in the past? Same question for both of you.
Same thing, mate. Recently, it's in the past. Idiot.
Got him.
Where'd you go to school, God?
Man, good thing Johan wasn't here.
I recently worked a case there just a few months ago.
A case? So you are a fellow
I'm
officer?
Private investigator.
He seems a little like blatantly distasted by that. Well, does the name Gregor Hagen ring a bell to either of you?
Does it?
Constance, to you, I don't know. Johan,
I make a learning check.
Bill,
maybe?
have you mentioned Gregor to anybody else likely in this group?
Let me check what I wrote down as my relationship with Constance. I believe it is a mostly professional relationship. You are listed in my relationship section as a tool for my purposes. I didn't come up with the language, everybody, that was supplied by the game. So I'm going to say that Constance, you are the only member of this entire group, excluding, like, obviously, same as Horace and August, but you do not know who Gregor is. And neither does the audience at home.
Not yet.
Oh, partial to.
Robert, I imagine you have, though, yes?
Yes.
Absolutely, Robert knows.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yes, I'm familiar with the Gregor.
When's the last time that you spoke to Gregor? And Miss Constance, does that name sound familiar to you?
Yes. Yes, of course. I believe Robert can fill you in.
So you two are not close, Robert, Constance.
No.
He's
absolutely
asking
not.
if Robert and Constance are not close?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, he says absolutely not.
Of course not.
So
I know.
Wow.
I know, Robert. He doesn't. Robert hates women, is the problem.
That's not true.
No. Yeah, Bill.
We get along famously.
Everyone hates Constance. That's what we've established.
I like
It's not true
Constance.
either.
I'm a tool for your purposes.
My relationship with you is protects you at any cost.
Yeah, and remember
Like a
when
tool. Like your
when you had a
favorite
bonus
tool.
success and you could save one other person in the party and you saved Johan instead of Constance?
It was because Katrina believed that you could take care of yourself in that moment.
Okay,
She learned her
okay.
lesson.
Okay, now she knows you're terrible at your job.
Now I
and
know
she has
that
to
you're
protect
bad.
you.
Constance looks a little hurt. There's like just a small tiny flash of like ouch when Robert says like no, absolutely not. But she'll cover it quickly and just
Robert says, ugh, what? No. Oh, God.
we are
Ugh.
we are colleagues.
not
Right.
lovers then, current or past?
Oh,
Absolutely not.
no, certainly not.
Are you a romantic interest of Johan, perchance? Either of you?
No, I don't
I am-
think so.
I'm sorry, I gagged a little bit. No. That is a
tries to-
resounding
you can
no.
see he clearly tries to force back a smile. Okay, very good. Are there any weapons on yourselves or kept in this castle currently?
Excuse me, officer. I think it's best if you perhaps just spit out why it is you are here. I don't appreciate this beating around the bush.
Very well. Gregor Hagen was found dead some time ago. I've been on the case for quite some time. And,
Constance is going to watch Robert for his reaction since she doesn't actually know who Gregor is.
Oh, Robert is gonna like already be taking his pistol out to hand to the officer.
the officer, you can see, kind of reflexively slides his hand to his saber as you pull out the pistol and then calms down when he sees you're handing it over.
Fine.
No need to turn over the firearms, just wanted to be aware of the situation here.
I'm sure there are more, but it would take some time for me to get them.
Leaving the weapons away would be preferable right now. I will be quite frank. This conversation will be slightly tense, and I would like to clarify you are not under arrest, but Gregor Hagen was found dead some time ago, and it did seem to be foul play. And quite honestly, after a very long investigation, 2 suspects in this investigation are pointing to you, Robert, and your employer, Johan.
I see. Have you found any evidence?
We have not yet. Am I to understand correctly that Johann has recently purchased the Moreland Society?
Yes, absolutely. He, as far as his wealth is concerned, it is insurmountable at this.
What does that have to do with this case?
That is confidential, Miss Doyle. Well, I appreciate the honesty. I don't believe in shaking people down if it's not necessary. I have a request of you. I understand that you and your colleagues here at this castle, I'm not entirely sure what it is you do. Investigators with Miss Doyle?
Yes, of a sort.
Are you the employer,
Well,
Miss Doyle?
no. We are investigators for hire, so our employer may change.
I see. So all of you are self-employed.
Yes,
Very good. Well,
more or less.
I can respect the field. This is my official request that if you are to be leaving town anytime in the near future, I'm letting you know you are under investigation, and I would like to keep this investigation civil. I will not forbid you for going out for work, but there is a station here in Uppsala of authorities. I'd like you to please report to them if you are leaving anywhere significant, if it would not be too much trouble. It would go a long ways on your case.
Very well.
Just to be clear, there are 4 of us who work out of this castle.
Who
Are
is
you
the
saying
fourth?
Officer
Horace?
Katrina Nordenflicht. Are we all under that same direction, or just Johann?
Katrina,
and
why don't you
Robert?
roll me a manipulate?
Oh, that's a thing I do. Hang
See
on.
if you've ever been associated with Officer Larson.
A manipulation.
Yeah,
I've got 3 dice.
sweet. Manipulation is kind of like your general charisma. So
Oh, this guy. I bet this guy. What's his name?
yeah, you got a success there.
I have a success.
Nice.
Ah, Mrs. Nordenflicht. Yes, I have met her once or twice.
Yes, I believe it's Officer Nordenflicht.
Yes, it is. You're correct.
Fucking get it, Connie.
Listen, between us, something feels off about this investigation, and I do not have high hopes that anything will turn up between Robert or Johann. But my direct superiors are insistent that I investigate. So consider this more of a courtesy arrival. I'm letting you know you're under close watch and eye, and anything you can do to be upfront about your travels, your locations, it would go a long ways in the investigation for your benefit.
Right. I have a question for you, officer.
Yes.
If I were to find any information that would be pressing, where could I find you?
Quite an odd predicament. I do suppose you are in investigatory work as well.
Right.
Currently, I will be staying at the station here in Uppsala, at least for the next month or so.
Very well. Thank you.
Where are you from? Where do you normally operate?
Rog, madam.
I see. Well, if you would like another investigator on the case, perhaps I could be of assistance.
Given the conflict of interest, I appreciate the offer, but I don't think that will be necessary. So, thank you.
Yes, of course. It's clear you have it handled.
Would you be willing to schedule me permission to take a walkthrough through the castle at some point in the near future?
I'll just have to take a look when we might have time.
Again, Officer Larson, you can reach me by contacting anybody at the local station.
Of course.
Thank you so much for your hospitality. It seems we've forgotten the tea. Don't worry about it. I have other business to attend to.
The tea was in the sitting room, dang it. I just didn't narrate that I poured tea and all that stuff. I thought Robert
Porous
was going to do
enters
that.
with tea.
It was there all along. Thank you. I appreciate it. Robert, Miss Doyle, I'll be in touch.
Yes. Good day.
Robert, that is me explaining your dark secret. So go ahead and make sure you keep note of that when
All right.
experience time comes around.
All right.
And
Could
yeah.
I'm now losing track of our own secrets. What was the name of the man who died?
Gregor.
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 Can I play out a little bit more, Chase?
For sure.
With Robert? Constance will lead the officer to the door and shut it behind him, and then zip around and look at Robert. Who is Gregor? I don't have the faintest idea who that is, but you seem to know.
Right. I think it's best that you not know.
I think we are past that point, seeing as an officer of the law has come knocking at a door that I share with you and Johan.
Yes, I will need to confer with Sir Bostrom first, but we do know where this officer of the law resides, so if need be, I can pay him a visit.
Why would you need to?
Well, it seems that he might know something that he shouldn't.
Right. Forgive me for thinking we were some kind of team. She'll turn and go upstairs.
Constance.
No, she's going to play the moody teenager card. She's not really a teenager, but she's going to brood upstairs. She's going to stomp up the stairs and go to her room and slam the door.
In that case, Robert will kind of watch after her for until the door is slammed, and then he'll just go and he'll train punching things.
I love it. Fantastic. All right, Katrina, anything of note that you were wanting to chase on during this downtime?
No.
Nothing for you? Okay,
Nothing
awesome.
for Katrina.
I love it. Apparently you have a connection with an Officer Larson, so you know. That's fun. All right, Tori, anything for Constance?
Yeah, I want to chase down that skull. Well, okay, I know you said we could only pick one thing. I did originally say the skull and scorpion, but if there was anything that I could just, I don't want to do a full investigative dive into this whole Prague murder thing, but if there was anything that I could gather just to at least figure out, the outline of what this even is all about at all, then that would be cool too. But if it's just the one, then I'll stick with the scorpion and skull.
Just the one for this downtime. But
Okay.
if you want to, you can choose the other as well.
I'll go with skull and scorpion.
Skull and scorpion. Excellent. All right. Is there anything in particular you want to do to investigate this? Are you trying to get word of mouth? Are you trying to dig up in some books? Are you traveling to different libraries?
I think she would probably start in Johan's collection while he was out sometime away. Because whenever he is around and she gets into his collection, I feel like they end up bickering and she just kind of wants to look through his stuff undisturbed. So she'll look there first, and then I think she'll do more word of mouth, talking to people, seeing I think the most alarming thing to her was this weird group of horse riders who were cloaked and weird. So I think she's going to be researching the symbol and then maybe just trying to figure out what that group was, if anyone has seen them before, just what that was all about.
Okay, fantastic. Why don't you go ahead and start with giving me a learning roll?
Okay. All right. I've got 5 dice. Let's see. I'll take 2 blessed dice.
2 blessed dice. Please do.
I got 2
Ooh.
successes. I'm going to say those were the blessed dice.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. 2 successes is what you needed to get
Ooh,
onto
yay.
something with this. So, now you find some references. You see the symbol mentioned in some of the collection that Johann has at your actual castle. You can find out notably that the past society had also run into figures with this symbol on their different travels and their investigations. Some people had documented feeling quite uneasy about it. Nobody ever reported any major incidents with them, but they were just seen around different mysteries. Nobody ever finished the investigation on them, so people don't have much information. You did get reference to other libraries for that collection, so during some of your other travels, you probably could have referenced other libraries around the region. And you did come up with their name, but it is quite hush-hush. These are found in like restricted books in different libraries. Not very much is written about them. The most that you get about them is that they are called Venomum Amantes, and they claim to be a religious group that is.
Wait, can you say that one more time? Venomum.
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 Venenum.
Okay.
Amantes.
Okay. Got it. A religious group?
They are a religious group that believes that the God that is kind of, the Christian God that's kind of the forefront of worship right now is a lie, and that Satan is actually a righteous being that should be in his place. And doing some digging, you get some research that they're also aware of Vaesen. They do even specifically reference the word Vaesen in one of the texts that you find. But you can kind of gather that they treat Vaesen as something that is to be protected and has a rightful claim to the land. They treat them almost as angels.
So they would probably look disapprovingly upon our activities of like laying Vaesen to rest and like banishing them and stuff like that.
Yeah, in fact, you find a text from them. Probably the one that gives you the most information is one of their priests giving a teachings of anathema being banishing Vaesen, and that if a Vaesen has claim to the land, then humans should leave that land to the Vaesen, and that banishing is a horrible sacrilegious act.
Okay. But no, in the records, there weren't any like attacks or anything from this group.
No, you haven't been able to find anything about anybody with the society having any direct conflict with them. In fact, the old society didn't seem to ever have time to follow up on any big leads. This is a pretty good find you have here as you're traveling around finding these books. You're probably following up on a lead that a previous society member had mentioned in a journal in your library, and you're following up on a lead that they never did.
Okay. Could I try to look up that guy that Constance met on the train?
To see if he's like a notable figure?
No, I mean look him up, like go find him.
Oh, to go find him? You can. That's probably going to be quite difficult considering you never exchanged names, but...
Oh, that's true. I forgot we did. Okay. Then
if you can get me 3 investigation successes.
Wow.
Okay. I'll give it a go.
Better use all them curse dice.
Yeah.
Seems like a safe one to use curse dice on.
All right, investigation. Yes. How many cursed dice do we have? 2? All right, fine. We'll do 2 cursed dice.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh.
Would you like to push?
0 on 10?
Oh,
That's a lot
man.
of dice to get nothing.
I will say pushing will have your condition at the start of our
yeah, I
preparation
don't
phase.
think so. I think Constance knows that this is going to be a long shot. And he also wasn't like he said it was like a mistake from a long time ago, so she assumes that he's probably not part of this order anymore.
He'd turn on him.
Oh, that's
turn
true.
on him. You gotta find him.
Ah. Man, you guys are such a bad influence. All right. It's 3 dice, though. 3 successes I have to get.
3 successes is unlikely, but Mr.
Yeah, don't worry
Lamprey
about it.
actually gave you an additional curse dice you could roll on the next one. 3 on 11.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
odds.
fine. I'll do it. You guys are bullying me into this.
Such a bad influence on you. You're not going to get this, but I'm excited to see you try.
Oh, no, you have 3 curse dice, Mr. Lamprey. Oh, but I just used 2, so it's 1 more. So I'll take the 3, like you said. All right, here we go. A whole 1.
Oh.
Dang.
So close. All right. You kind of get on his trail. It's probably going to involve going back to like looking at records on the steamboat that you took and trying to find him. And you know what? With 1 success, I will give you a name. His name is Eric Lamford.
Eric Lamford.
ERIK LAMFORD. So you did get his name, but you didn't get much information off of that, and it's kind of hard to track him, at least currently. You got enough of a lead where you can maybe dig into it later on, but during this time, it's more than you'll have time for.
This is like my notes look like the title of the next like steamy thriller novel. Man with the skull tattoo on the train.
Right? Love it. Fantastic. All right.
All right, I'll take
So
a stupid
there's-
condition.
Yep,
All for
take
a
mental
name.
one.
Yes.
Hey, names are powerful things, you know?
Yep.
All right. I think that just leaves Johan. Johan, any significant activities you would like to take during your downtime?
Well, there's one I've been wanting to take the whole time. And
Uh-huh.
now I also have to be involved in this man from Prague.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So,
Robert
I'm
would
not sure-
definitely tell Lord Bostrom that
Mhm.
immediately when Bostrom returns.
Okay. Well, look, I want to have a downtime action about this other thing, but I can play a little bit for
Yeah.
Gregor,
Absolutely.
which I want to say, Robert, I don't know what this means. I mean, look, Gregor is not dead. I think we both know this. There is a man in Prague who is dead, but we learned to our own dismay this was not Gregor. He does not seem to die so easily. So whatever this is, something has been covered up or moved around. He will be harder to find if he appears again, because apparently he has decided it was time for the world to think Gregor is dead.
Right.
So who knows who he could be?
Right.
We have lost our one connection to who he was.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think this can be tied back to us. Now, if they are digging into deaths related to Gregor in Prague, this may not be good for us. Maybe they'll uncover more, which could tie back to our trip. But for now, I think we are safe. If they're looking for the people who killed Gregor, this is the one thing we know we did not do.
Right. The officer said that he did not have any evidence
he would
implicating
not.
either of us. But if it does turn up, just say the word and I will take care of him. I know where he lives right now.
Yes, hopefully it will not come to this, but maybe.
Right.
But look, at this point, I'm sure I can maybe quash this. I should know. I can talk to the commissioner of police. We were at a ball the other day. Surely he will not want to anger too much one of his newest patrons. So we
Right.
can find this out. But if he is here because of Gregor, it could be that Gregor himself is not far behind. Did you tell anyone else about it? Does Constance know?
Yes. unfortunately, she was also here at the same time when I opened the door. And
Well, if there's one thing that we know, if she cares to find out, she'll find out.
right.
So maybe we should tell her ourselves. I will speak to her. Thank you, Robert, for not.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I know it must be hard to keep someone else's secret from someone that you like as much as Constance. I know you two are fast friends, and work together so well.
All right, go ahead. Go for it.
I
that
will
all?
talk. Yes, that's all. Also,
All
could
right.
you maybe keep the new gardener away from from my wing of this castle? When I'm here, I do not like when he is nearby. So if you could let him stay on the other
Boris
side.
is straight up at the window right now.
Don't look. Don't acknowledge him. If you look, it will get worse. No. Keep looking at me. Just don't. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll have to move. I'm going back to my other castles. Okay.
All right.
And I can tell at some point, we don't need to do it now. I can let Constance know a bit more about the Gregor situation.
I love it.
But I have a bigger problem.
Yes. What
Which
is the
something
bigger
that
problem?
everybody has noticed a little bit this year, these last 9 months. Sometimes mid-conversation, Johan will turn, look over your shoulder, and seem a little bit off. Occasionally, when you're passing Johan's rooms at night, you hear him talking conversationally, but only one-sided. And this is because since our trip down to Grimstead Ling, I have been haunted by the ghost of a young girl who occasionally appears and just stares at me, hands out. She doesn't talk back, but I've started talking to her. And this is the ghost of the Myling that we banished, who still has yet to properly receive a name. And so, after hoping it would go away for a little bit, and it didn't seem to, I need to do some research. I need to try and find out what we missed and what we failed to do to properly name this child, because it's been ruining business meetings. It's been ruining things. I once did scream at a real little girl that I thought was a ghost of a little girl. She got very sad. I was walking down the street and a little girl came out and she was going to hand me something. So she had her hands out. I said, "Oh, get out of here! Please stop bothering me! I don't want to talk to you! Go! I can do nothing for you, girl!" And she started crying.
Well, yeah.
So I gave her mother 10,000 kroner. So now I need to actually deal with the problem. So I think Johan spends a lot of time in the library. This is mostly the reason he comes to the castle. He doesn't need to live in this castle. He has a newer castle that he bought, a fairly large manor in the countryside outside of Uppsala. He has a beautiful, tall, it's townhouses, but he owns the entire row of townhouses in the center of Uppsala. So he has lots of places to stay that are a lot more comfortable than the old, poorly kept library in Uppsala, in Gillenkreutz, but they are not as helpful. So I have been spending more time at Castle Gillenkreutz, and
Some of your books are dog-eared. You find dog-eared pages.
Oh. I very carefully undog-ear the pages. I get our butler in, whose name I've already forgotten, even though he said it seconds ago.
Frisk.
I get Frisk in to just press a lot of the pages back flat. Spends a lot of time with two large metal objects. I found an old pan someone had thrown out, so we can use that. Just trying to get the creases out of the books. But I'm doing research, and I need to find out. I'm looking into old notes. I may have even traveled back to Grimstead Ling during this 9-month period, just to question locals because I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want me to make a learning roll or what I need to do, but I can.
A learning roll, indeed.
Okay. I'm just rolling 8 dice. Let's see what happens.
Ooh.
I got
Wow.
So
successes
many
on 8
successes.
dice. Oh, I killed that ghost.
Can I have some of those? I'll track down Eric Lamford.
No.
Massive
just for me.
success.
They are
Wow.
not transferable to anybody.
All right. Yeah. So you're able to gather quite a bit of information on Mylings. So much to the point where if you were ever to encounter a Myling again, I will give you full statistics on it. You can know what kind of spells they can cast. You will know all of their dangers. And notably, when you go back to Grimstead Ling, you actually find that the person whose window you broke, the barmaiden, she's actually a pretty great source of information. She had a lot of gaps that your information in the journal from Sandeman didn't have, because her father was actually an expert on Mylings, though she didn't believe him. She thought it was a bunch of superstitious nonsense. And you are able to fill in what went wrong and how you can fix it. And basically, the naming ritual, whoever is burying and putting the Myling to rest needs to give the Myling their name as a final departing gift. And not only do they have to name the Myling after themselves, they then have to rid themselves of that name, or else they will remain haunted.
Didn't I suggest we call the girl Johanna?
You did.
She hesitated.
She did hesitate on Johanna. Yeah, that's why I had her hesitate on that one.
Oh man.
Oh,
So close.
who buried the bones?
It has to be it has to be a declaration during the ritual. If you wanted to become unhaunted, you would have to visit the grave. You would have to proclaim this Myling being named Johann or something similar, and then you would have to officially rid yourself of your own name.
Oh, we almost
The
called her
richest
Johanna.
man in all of Sweden is going to have to change his name.
Wow.
Mechanically, since you succeeded so well, I'll tell you what this will do. Names come with influence and wealth. Those are tied to that. You are going to have a temporary penalty on either your resource or your manipulation until you build up your new name for yourself if you give it away.
Harsh.
I could take a penalty to my manipulation because no one knows who I am for a little bit when I introduce myself. But now I get to give myself a cool new name.
Yeah, this
You're
is
like
the penalty
the man
is
formerly known as Prince.
Yeah.
the penalty is 2 split between manipulation and resources, however you would like. And it's a temporary penalty. It will come back eventually, but
That's wild.
Okay, hold on. What's a cool name I can try and translate into Swedish?
Chaz.
No, it can't be a name anymore. It's got to be like I got to like legally give myself a cool title.
Chamomile.
You could be just Baron Bostrom and have no first
name is
name.
Baron.
A man has no first name.
Oh.
What about Herr Hemleiten? What? Hemleitenus? It's too hard to say. Because that'd
It's
be the
too
Lord
difficult.
of Secrets, and I don't need that.
also M makes all of our lovely overlays for our streams. And I'm sorry, M, but if this happens, we're going to require an overlay change next week.
I'll change it right now. Katie
So
knows what to
is
do.
Johan doing this? Are you doing this, Bill?
I think I'm doing this.
Oh, okay.
Dang. All right.
All right. I'll give me a second. I'll tell you soon what my name is.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? Actually, it is 9:00 Mountain Time, which is a pretty good time for a break. This is going to wrap up our downtime. Johan was the last one for downtime here. So let's go ahead and let's take a quick break. Give us like 10 minutes chat. We'll let Johan think of a new name. We'll take a quick break and then we'll be back with you guys. And I think we'll be ready to jump into our next mystery. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you in a few. Welcome back, everybody. We're coming back with our hands on our head because Bill said so, and we did it. So
I'm
we're
committing
done.
until Bill's done. All right, there we go.
teamwork, you know. Thanks for hanging out during the break, everybody. Welcome back. We have just finished our downtime era between our first mystery of Vaesen, so we're hopping back to it. And before we left, Bill Johann rather, was changing his name. So the moment we've all been waiting for. What is the new name, Bill?
You pointed out that I did this for my last big stint on this channel as well. That I had Bravegut Grimkitchen, who changed his name about 4 times every time he died, and I had to keep coming up with new names. So apparently I have done this. Apparently now my thing. So Johann had to give up his name. He went back to Grimsedling. He went to the grave and he made a declaration that the child's name was Johanna, and gave her a Borstrom for good measure, but as a middle name. And she hasn't seen her since, so he thinks it has worked. But as we mentioned, part of the ritual is that name now belongs to the child, and I can no longer use it. So I did spend a good amount of time with my lawyers, changing my name on all my business documents. And of course, they looked at me a little bit weirdly. They looked at me like I was crazy. And that's because I am. My new name is Gerlin Forskere, or Garland Forskare, whatever you want to say. I don't mind. It's Garland Forskare, which literally means crazy scientist, or crazy researcher, if you'd like. And I took this because this was the sort of epithet that the Swedish media and academia gave to my father, who, to their credit, was a crazy scientist. But I didn't like that. And that's what he was always called. And so I've decided that if I can't have my father's name, because he was also a Borstrom, if I have to throw away my family name, I'll take what was our other family name. And I'm going to try and use the fact that I am the most powerful person in Sweden right now, I've decided, to make them say it, and make them say it until it, and force them to respect the person they say it to, and retroactively take on my father's other name, and bring pride to that name as well. But this is not a human name, so everyone who talks to me is literally calling me crazy researcher, which is an awkward thing to say. So I'm sure characters are going to find it a weird name, which means my manipulation is. Can I take it to -1? I'm taking it to -1.
I don't think you can.
Well,
Well, yeah, I'll let you do -1, as long as you still have at least. Yeah, as long as you have at least 1 dice to roll from the governing ability, I'll let you take it.
I can now run 1 die because it's 2 empathy -1.
I love it.
-1 just for the mood. So no one, my manipulation is very low because I'm literally saying, "Hello, my name is Crazy Researcher. Would you like to take my advice?" No, I don't think I would.
But
So
then
welcome
he just
back.
pays them a lot of money.
Forskere, the Crazy Researcher.
Fantastic. I love it. All right. And with that, you can go ahead, and I imagine you go through all the proper paperwork. You get your name officially changed.
It is officially changed. It's on all my new paperwork.
Excellent. Go ahead and remove that haunted condition.
Yeah.
Boyo, was I going to exploit that? So
You can't now. Now you have to put my stupid name.
Awesome. Yeah. So almost immediately after the last paper is signed, officializing everything, you get the most peace you've had in some time. There's no ghostly little girls showing up to terrorize you or scare you around a corner. And you feel kind of a warmth in your chest. Like not only are you more at peace, but deep down inside, she's more at peace as well. And that concludes that downtime activity.
I have a question for Gollin.
Yeah.
I obviously you come back at some point and sort of reintroduce yourself to us. Do you explain why, or do you just leave it? Do you just say, "This is what I've done. I'm taking no questions at this time. Just like deal with it"?
No, I think I should explain. Well, like you're all
Okay.
there. I'll come
Mhm.
back and I say, but I don't think I have explained that I've been haunted by this little girl ghost the entire time. So it's everyone, if you could come to the sitting room, there's some very cold tea. It's been here a very long time. Nobody drank any. I do have an announcement to make. I do not know the ramifications of this announcement, so I would like to be very clear. My name is no longer Johann Bostrom. I have given my name away. For the last, let's say, I'm going to say this is 6 months into the downtime. For the last 6 months, I have been haunted by the spirit of Sanderman's young daughter. I know we put her to rest. Everything has been fine, but I have not been fine. I returned to Grimsedling, and I discovered she needed a real name, a truly powerful name, and that name had to be Johann Bostrom. She is Johanna Bostrom Sanderman, and I can no longer use the name. Please, I do not know what will happen if you refer to me by that name, and I do not wish to see this girl again. So from now on, I ask you to call me the name that was given to my father, Galen Fushkare. I may be an adjustment period, but soon it will be as natural as saying August. I mean, that's a month. That's not a name, but he is still here, and we call him this. So this is fine. Constance, that is a virtue. It is not a name. Katrina,
Just starts
that is
attacking everybody.
Katrina and Robert, I can find no problem with. But, you know, this is my new name. Soon it will be natural, but there will be a teething period. But please try to not call me Johan. I worry that if you do, I will be attacked in my sleep by a ghost trying to claim its name back. So I would prefer it if you avoided the use of my old name.
There's a knock on the door.
Call me Johan.
After that knock, briefly after, you see Algot Frisk walking by all of you in your sitting room. Don't mind that. I will get the door for you all, masters.
Please, that is your job.
He gives a bow.
I don't appreciate the sass, Algot.
I did not intend any, sir. I'm so sorry. And I did catch the new name. I'll be sure to use it proper.
All right.
You see him walk by, and you hear the door creak open, and you hear some low chatter. And the door closes, and Algot comes walking back in with an envelope. A post delivery. Just titled To the New Society.
Oh, good.
He'll
I can take
gesture it out for whoever wants to take it.
Robert, please.
Of course. I've been training just in case.
Excellent. Yeah, he'll hand you the letter.
Training to... You've been throwing knives at August. How has this prepared you for reading a letter?
No, I understand. Algot, if you hold the letter above your head, Robert can use a letter opener from 20 yards away. Show him, Robert.
That's true.
If it is necessary for training, sir.
Please hold it above your head. Like this.
It'll be so.
Like hold it like this.
God, Constance will march up and snatch the letter out of Algot's hand and just tear it open and nap it in there and read it.
Excellent. Constance, here's the letter. Production, this is handout 2A. And for those watching, we will be putting all of our handouts in our Discord channel. We have a special channel for Vaesen. So if you want to follow along with the clues and handouts at home, you can do so. Let's see here. There is that. I believe if you click on the second category there, players, you can see the typed out transcription if that handwriting is too hard to read.
Not loud. Read the difficult handwriting.
Would you like me to read it?
You snatched it. You read it.
Okay. To whom it may concern, my name is Alfred Herenstam from Herod Parish in Smolandia. I turn to your esteemed society as I see no other solution to my current predicament.
It's one thing reading like difficult handwriting, but when you have to read it and also the words are Herenstam,
Smolandia,
Smolandia, you're like, this can't be right.
It concerns my dear brother and best friend, August. Is August here with us right now?
August is out on other business at the moment.
All my life, he has been very close to me, and together we founded the Herod Iron Works by the shore of Lake Heron. Our workers scraped up the iron ore from the bottom of the lake, and in the blast furnace we smelted it into ingots. As you have no doubt heard, Smolandia is these days ravaged by drought, crop failure, and poverty. Our beloved parents could not cope with this ordeal, and they both expired a week ago. Oh, that's so horrible. I buried them yesterday, and I write these lines in the light of a single candle on our family farm. This is tragic.
They're not dead, but they were best before to that date.
My dear late mother was interested in the supernatural, and she is the one from whom I learned of your society. I see no alternative but to leave these godforsaken lands and seek my fortune in America, like so many before me. But I cannot do so without my brother August, who still runs the ironworks. He has cast me out and threatened to kill me if I ever return?
This is,
August.
I think, maybe a different August. I was complaining about this name, but maybe it is more common than we think. It could be that there are Augusts all around the country.
August is in the grip of madness. A she-devil in the guise of a preacher has twisted his mind. This woman, Beta Gideon's daughter, presents herself as a proclaimer of God's word, but I suspect that she is in fact a servant of Lucifer himself. I ask that you come to our family farm in Herod at the earliest opportunity. I don't know why I said convenience. I guess that word jumped in my head. to smoke out this evil and save my brother's soul. Most respectfully, Alfred Harenston. Do we know August's last name, Chase?
Nobody's asked it.
Okay,
oh my gosh, he's been with us for 9 months.
In Smolandia. I
You
think
know?
he's playing a piano in
I
Grimstone.
don't know. How long has he been gone?
He's probably been gone for like a day. He's been
okay.
nearby.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's related.
Well,
Excellent.
At the very least, we should double check.
You think we should check if the pianist we took from Denmark is actually an ironmonger from Smolandia?
Okay, don't criticize me for trying to be thorough, Galen, who just suddenly changed his name out of nowhere. It's
Yes,
always worth checking.
I mean, if you saw a news article and it said Johann found dead on the streets, he was 8 years old, you'd be like, oh, what? I didn't think he was that young. No, you would assume it is a different Johann.
Katrina, it seems like you have something to say.
I was just wondering how productive this part of the conversation is.
This is the most productive we could be. If it
I
is,
think we should aim a little
if it
higher.
is the same August, then we can solve this mystery very quickly.
August comes walking in.
August!
Yes, do you have
Yes.
a brother?
Do I have a brother? No.
Yes.
Not that I'm aware of.
Does the name Herenston mean anything to you? Or Smolandia?
Isn't that Johann's last name?
Okay. It's good to be thorough.
Who is Johann is a dead girl. August, keep up with the news.
He looks kind of confused. Oh, okay.
Johann is the name of a small dead child in Denmark. I don't know why you would use this name in this
August, you're excused.
Yes, I'll go practice my music. Constance, good to see you around. Hope your travels were well.
Oh yes, Prague was
He takes
lovely.
his hat off and kind of timidly clutches it to his chest.
And what were you out doing today? Not smelting iron, I suppose.
I was just dredging a lake for iron ore.
Did I
As
miss
I am wont
something?
to do.
Did you task me with something I missed?
She'll
I was just
chuckle
out
and
looking
hand
for
the letter
work.
over to him.
Yeah, he'll take a look over it. Oh, this doesn't concern me at all. Must be a different August.
Well,
Don't-
it
I'm
never
I'm
hurts to
not the
check.
only one I've met. But yes, not the most uncommon name for sure.
Well, okay. I think we have this settled.
I'm not in
So-
trouble, right? You all understand this is not me.
No, you go play piano. I will warn you. You should take the long way around, because Horus is somewhere on the most direct route. If you wish to avoid the gaze of Horus, I would go up the stairs and across and back down the other side.
You know, Horace has actually been a fantastic critic of my music. A bit odd, but a good soul.
All right, if you trust him.
I do. Horace, let's go practice.
There's like a weird scuttling sound from outside, and then just like a cheek pressed against the window, like, hello?
Yes, he seems like a very good music critic.
Come join me
Glad-
for my piano session.
I have permission to come inside.
You're
may
always
not
welcome
come
inside,
inside.
Horace.
And
Not
just
through
like
this room, Horace. You
starts
must go
coming
around.
through the window.
No,
All
Horace,
right.
back, around.
I'll let you in through the back, Horace.
Of course. I'm a bit musty. Apologies. And just climbs back out through the window.
Roberts, please have this window replaced.
Very well.
All right, we are going to our preparation phase for this next mystery. So, let's go ahead and let's talk about some options on this. Now, number one, everybody, please refresh your capital that you gain from your resources.
Of course.
Remember to increase yours by 1M for your inheritance that you got.
Done.
And then let's go ahead and let's just have everybody roll their resource roll. Remember that Robert and Katrina get to push yours for free.
And then I got something that gave me capital for this.
Yeah, so all of us, because of a reward from the Moreland Society, which I have decided to honor, as it is my society, increased all of our capital by 1 point. And so I believe, actually, Em, you may have increased yours by 2 in that case from what it would be at its base.
Yep.
My goodness.
And we roll the number. Wait.
And then we also roll our resources. So I was just re-looking at this,
okay.
It always confuses me.
That's
it's like, for our preparatory stuff, we can roll a number of dice equal to our resources, and any success is like extra capital that we add to our capital bank, and that's how much we can spend the entire adventure.
Yep,
so
exactly.
we can use our capital now. It's just we got to save some. I have a lot of capital, babies. I'm a very rich man.
And actually, you typically cannot push your resources, but for you two, you can roll them again. You basically you roll twice.
Is there a button in order to roll my resource? Because
you should just be able to click on resource. And
it is not doing that for me.
No, I couldn't make it.
If you click on the actual name resources,
it lights up, but it does not make an action happen.
Interesting.
Do it for me either.
Yeah, go ahead and just manually roll it then.
The better manual roll, I think, is if you click the roll button on your character sheet, you can create an 8 dice. You just give yourself 8 bonus dice and do a roll. Or not 8. I have 8 because I'm so rich. That was an example, but my original roll was 2 successes, so I'm going to keep that.
Yeah.
But this will actually calculate successes rather than using the dice bar on the left.
All right, that sounds good. That.
So yeah, there's a roll button at the top of your character sheet,
and that'll let you push it as well, which is handy.
Exactly. But I got 2 successes, which gives me a functional capital value of 15 for this adventure.
Wow!
What? You can have everything.
Yeah, I can buy a strong horse this time, not a weak little baby horse.
Wow, what a good push, Katrina.
Yeah. Thanks, Wombat Fuzz. If you're still in chat, appreciate you. So do I add those successes onto my capital? Is that correct?
Yep. You get your capital 8. Plus your successes, and that is your wealth for the adventure.
Okay.
The only other thing you can do is you can try to bargain using your resource roll if you want to promise to pay, basically. But all right. Does everybody have that sorted out?
Yes.
I'm bringing nothing to the table except for my one capital from the Moreland Society.
This is fun. I have more than enough to pay for everybody.
Excellent. All right. So now for the preparation phase here, you guys each get, if you want to head out on a normal time frame, remember you do have a catastrophe clock basically. So you get one freebie where everybody gets around to downtime. And then if you guys want to push it further, we can have the catastrophe clock a little bit more tense, and you guys can do another round. Some things that you can do for this downtime, and you're always welcome to request your own custom thing, but some options you can do. You can try to go bargain for deals, and basically you can try to get more resources towards purchasing things. You can try to secure better travel preparations to have a more comfortable and safe travel. You can... for this particular adventure, you can do some research about the area around Lake Heron, which is where you're going to be nearby. You can do some research on the Herod Ironworks, or you can go do some research on Vaesen to see if you can find some hints about a particular Vaesen that might be in the area. Just to kind of set the scene, we had our 9 months of downtime. Right now, it is in the middle of summer. And it has been a miserably hot summer. Probably the hottest heat wave that you guys have had here in Uppsala, and even everywhere you've been traveling, Constance, it's been quite hot. Indoors or out, it's hard to not be sweating and uncomfortable. It's just not a pleasant summer at the moment.
Could you ping where we need to go?
Yeah, so right here, you guys are in Uppsala right now, and you guys will be heading down here.
Oh,
I wondered if
it's
it
not
was
the
the
red
red circle.
Yep.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. So, and if you guys don't have any preparations or anything you don't want to do, you don't have to. Purchasing is for free. So you guys can purchase gear ahead of time. That doesn't take your action. Let's go ahead and start with Katrina. I don't think we started with you today. Anything that you want to do for preparation?
All right. So if buying is for free, I'm not very good at learning about things, but I'm going to try anyways. I want to know about this lake.
You want to know about the lake? Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a learning check and let's see what you can find out.
All right, guys, don't expect a lot from me because I only have 2 dice in learning. Can I use the library to get any sort of bonus?
The library, basically, if you're in Uppsala doing preparations, you're always considered to have access to the library. So that gives you basically a big source of knowledge.
So I don't get a bonus.
No bonuses.
Okay.
It gives you the ability to make these checks. For everybody else, be thinking about purchases while other people are doing their activities.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Also, quick reminder that I had forgotten until this second before purchasing new stuff is I got rid of the gear that I had bought. Is that correct? Like the horse and the other stuff I bought for the last mission, wouldn't still have.
You can keep one thing each mission aside from your starting gear. You always have your
I can
starting
keep
gear.
one thing.
Yep.
Ooh. Maybe I'll take that horse back.
Ah!
And that
Luckily,
basically
no one here hates horses.
basically represents that, you guys have big times between your mysteries. Things get lost, they get broken, and so things just
Cool. I
have to be
wasn't sure of the
repurchased.
rules for that. All right, easy.
Hmm?
I wasn't sure how that worked, so that's good.
Yeah. Would you like to push the roll, Katrina?
No, I don't really feel confident that I'm going to make it with just 2 dice, so
Okay.
I'll let it go. She tries her best.
A lot of books, a lot of reading. You're not able to connect anything of interest.
Sure.
All right. Let's go to Constance. We're gonna go zigzaggy this time.
Ooh, okay. Well, I think what might be most helpful for all of us is learning about what kind of town this is, just like the place we're going to in general. My thinking is like couple questions. One, what kind of like resources might this town have? Like basically how much shopping should we do before we leave versus like getting there? Because like Grimstead Ling didn't really have anything. So, how well equipped is this place? And then maybe like yeah, I guess that I'm a little curious about the like maybe like the religious presence there too, like if because they mentioned this like preacher woman, so like yeah, just want to kind of learn about the town and dominant groups and resources and stuff.
I like it. Go ahead and give me a learning roll.
Okay. I'm gonna take a couple of blessed dice because I have a condition because somebody convinced me to use to push myself.
Whoops. Use as many as you want.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. So I'll let you pick. There's 3 potential things here. I'll let you choose 2 of them. You can get some information about the religion of the area that's been talked about. You can get information about the surrounding area and the basically region itself. and you can get some local folklore about the lake and area surrounding.
I would like to know the local folklore and the religious context. And I would like to also kind of bring in my context that I know about the Veneman, whatever the society is called. Because I am definitely the description of the preacher woman kind of set off a couple of little alarm bells in Constance's mind.
Excellent. Okay, I like it. So for the local folklore here, this is going to be production handout number 2B. You find an excerpt from a folktale book that is relevant to the area called Myths and Folktales of Smolandia. Let's see here. Let's show this to you guys. Tori, you want to go ahead and give that a read?
Sure. In the woods south of the town Nostio lies Lake Heron. Local elders speak of this black lake with reverence. Legend has it that a ferocious beast roamed these parts hundreds of years ago, and that the villagers banded together to slay the monster. In the terrible battle that followed, the army drove the beast back into its cave, and a mighty sorceress called down a rainstorm of such magnitude that it flooded the entire valley and submerged the cave. The lake that formed was named Heron, meaning the army in the local tongue, in honor of the brave warriors who died fighting the beast. Interesting.
Excellent.
I'll definitely
So, yeah,
share that with the crew, particularly Katrina.
Wow. Okay.
And as far as the local religion, and you get some, you pull up in some public records some invitations that have been handed around by Beta Gideon's daughter. She is a kind of very fiery, eccentric priestess that's been preaching a new religion. Not really a brand new religion. It's adjacent to Christianity, but she hasn't really named it. She is basically preaching that the church gets in the way of people meeting the Lord, and that one doesn't need to belong to a religion or call themselves a religion to be righteous, and that people should band together to basically focus on vanquishing the minions of Satan and upholding the ideals of God. And she preaches that the church is just a pillar to be put in the way of people and their religion and their righteousness.
Okay.
She has mixed reception from people. A lot of Christians really hate her. They think she's blasphemous. And she's had a lot of people that you can read up that people get excited of going to her sermons and hearing what she has to say.
Okay.
And that's what you pick up with your learning. All right.
Nice.
Galen, what would you like to do?
Oh, so we're looking into local stuff. That's interesting. I don't know what, like, is there anything that we think is worthy of investigation or figuring this out?
The only question I have left is just if it's a place that we can buy stuff at, or if we...
I mean, it looks like, look, the thing we got from the first letter was the entire area has been ravaged by drought, crop failure,
that's
and poverty.
true.
So there's probably not
about that.
going to go down there and get something luxurious to purchase. I think we should probably bring what we need. But so he's looking into the ironworks and all that. Can I look into the specifics of the family and the iron, like, right, not the area, but like look into the Herenstam family, the Harrod Ironworks, how business has been, what's going on, like if there's any rumors around the death of their parents, things like that.
Sure. Yeah, go
Maybe I'll do
ahead.
that. I'll try and look into the family.
Yeah, please do. Go ahead and roll me a learning check for that.
All right. I have 4 successes.
Wow.
Galen has been on fire today.
Successes. Dang, look at that. Okay. Yeah, so you find out some interesting information about the ironworks. You get kind of a pretty detailed history on it. It's named the Herod Ironworks. But you dig up that it was founded about 10 years ago by the Harenstam brothers, whose last name used to be Anderson. And they changed their name when they started this business, which started off struggling for about the first year or so, and then just really took off. It became extremely wealthy, one of the biggest ironworks in the area. Became incredibly successful until the area around started to deteriorate. That the brothers did run it together, but the brother August has been over time claiming ownership of it and kind of forcing Alfred out.
Okay. I wonder if it's going to be important that they were actually the Andersons. That's probably a very good fact to know. I don't trust anybody who would change their name. All right. Well, that's good to know. Do we get advantages from any of this sort of stuff? Like last time we ran these checks, we got specific advantages. Are we not getting those for these because we're just getting the actual knowledge that we as players have as an advantage?
So you'll get advantages during your travel phase.
Oh, during the travel phase. Great, lovely.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just losing track. So, have we all done our... No, we haven't. Is Robert doing anything? Am I going crazy?
Yeah, Robert.
Done mine yet.
What would you like to do for your preparation?
So, I do recall that when we hire a gardener, we do get access to poison. Specifically, either a 3 doses of weak poison or 1 dose of strong poison. Can I go to Horace and inquire about said strong poison?
Yeah, you sure can. Horace?
Great.
Take it away, Horace. That's you, Em.
Sorry, I was shopping and I wasn't paying attention.
Sorry.
Can you remind me what's happening here?
I am coming to Horace for some strong poison.
All right. Where is Horace right now?
Oh goodness. I'd like to imagine that Robert kind of knows a little bit of the pathing
Sure.
of Horace.
Uh-huh.
And so this time Robert tries to sneak up on him as he's outside the window of Lord Foscara's study.
Clipping.
Yeah, and he's just gonna do a light tap.
Oh,
Don't worry, it's me.
hello there,
Yes.
Robert.
It's good to see you.
Most excellent. What can I do you for, good sir?
Well, I do apologize that this took so long, and I'm gonna spend my 1 capital on a cooking pot so that I can replace the pot that Horace used for me.
Oh my goodness. I have been eating raw chicken every day since you took my pan. Thank you so much for this.
All right. We'll deal with that another time.
Nice, wonderful. And Horace immediately sniffs this cooking pot. Is this brand new?
Yes. Specifically for you, but I do need your help.
Oh, another favor from old Hoary, huh?
Yes, Hoary. I've heard that there's a great beast, and so I need something that might be able to, shall we say, tame a great beast.
Hey, you want to slow it down? I understand what you're saying. All right.
Slow it down.
Okay. Like slow its heart way down for little nappy times.
Exactly.
So what are you looking for? Something in the horse variety? Or he's looking for more of like rhinoceros?
Oh.
Do
right,
tell me.
muscles. That sounds
Rhinoceros,
delightful.
all righty then.
All right.
All right. Well, we got some things. Come walk with old Ori.
Will
And
do, Ori.
Horace will walk around the lands and explain a lot of different plants until they draw upon a particularly muted looking plant. It's quite small. It's just a couple little pots of them in the back corner of the property. Now, these guys are very special. All right?
All right.
All right, of course. Now, this is extremely strong stuff, so I don't want you messing around back here when I'm not here.
Of course.
Hold
not.
on.
Of course not.
Of course. So, this is called, do you need it in the Latin? Probably
don't-
not. Layman's terms.
Right.
This is called Ingram's Bane.
Ingram's Bane. All right.
Chase Ingram immediately became suspicious.
Of mild concern.
Great.
I
Excellent.
killed a whole family. Ingram's did.
Wow. Do
I'm
I
just joking, of course, joking. Murder is
Right.
bad.
exactly?
All right.
Do I need to saute it or?
No, don't. You'll release poisonous gases. Don't even suggest such a thing.
All
You
right.
idiot.
You're so cute when you're stupid, Robert.
Horace is going to be the first one to make a character death happen. All right, so you're taking the strong dose of poison, yeah?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
go
like a little ball of all these dried leaves are inside a little sack, little cloth tied up. You have no real instructions on how to use it. He just laughs every time
Great.
you ask.
Thank
I
you.
love it. You should have access to that in the equipment folder, I believe, to drag to your character sheet, but let me know if you
Awesome.
need help adding that on there.
Appreciate it.
All right. Excellent. So everybody has done some general preparations. Would you guys like to do another round of prep and push the catastrophe clock? Or do you guys want to head on out?
Let's head out.
I don't have much to prep for. Do we want to talk about what equipment we're taking?
Yeah, let's,
Yeah.
'Cause I
let's talk
I've
about.
got a dumb list of things that I've currently spent money on, which I'm happy to divvy up to people who want them.
Yeah, I like it.
And we can decide how this works, because what I've bought for Johan, so I've left myself with 5 capital. Oh no, I've lost myself. Where am I? Oh, for Galen. I got myself. So I've still got my big strong horse, which I'm happy with. I got some old scrolls because they give you a +2 to for learning checks. So I think I've just gone to a local old books and try and find anything I can about the area, about anything that matches the research that we were doing in our downtime. I also just thought it'd be fun to bring a rope ladder. Just because there's caves and things, it might be helpful to have a ladder. I took some opera glasses to use vigilance from a distance, which I'm happy someone wants to take.
I
And
do
then got
have
one more thing.
binoculars as well.
Okay, lovely. Then maybe I can keep these. So I've got an okay vigilance. I do have one other thing which I would like to give away to somebody. It'd probably be related to the horse.
Hmm.
I bought a cannon.
What?
I'd like to bring a cannon.
Okay.
It's
It
not
does
subtle,
5
but I
damage
respect
over
it.
a range of 2 to 5.
I
It's a
haven't
big cannon.
practiced. I haven't
I
practiced with this yet. But
I think it's
Yeah,
so
but-
funny that you are in the realm of wealth where you can bring a cannon.
I'd like to bring a cannon, everybody. It cost 5 capital. to
Holy.
take, but also it's a
Crap.
cannon.
yeah.
So if anyone would like to be the person in charge of the cannon, add a cannon to
Wow.
your combat sheet. And I'll take
That
it off
seems
mine.
like a Robert thing.
It definitely
he
feels
has
like
been
Robert.
practicing
Robert, would you
ranged
like to take a
combat.
cannon?
Yeah. Hell
Um,
yeah. Let's go.
is that
Add a
all your
cannon
capital?
to your range? I've got
Or
4
your
capital
resources,
left.
I mean, or capital. Yeah, capital. Galen, I have been desperately
Oh.
wanting to experiment with a camera, It's quite cutting-edge technology, but I think it could be quite useful. What do you think? I would be happy to contribute.
Yes, no, this
The,
sounds good.
funds.
Please add it to the tab.
All right.
Just write camera on the list, and Argot will go and get it.
All right. It's worth 3. I'll use my 1 capital, so that's 2
of
from
mine?
yours.
Easy.
Yeah.
If you've
Excellent.
got binoculars, no, I will keep the opera glasses. I think they're fun.
Yeah. Aelin has so much capital.
I also have a
spent.
hurricane lamp. That's the thing I kept from our last adventure.
Amazing.
Very cool. I love
If
it.
anyone else needs like 3 capital on hand, I can get rid of my opera glasses and give someone 3 capital if they want to buy anything cool.
I like it. What about you, Katrina? You
right.
you buy anything?
Yeah, so I bought the things that chat has recommended, which included a homemade grenade for 2 capital.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I just got 1. I got a dog. I got the fancy dog, which is a hunting dog, for
Oh my gosh.
3 capital.
Lovely.
So that brought me to a total of 5. And then has anybody invested in a book collection yet?
I have a book collection and
You
a
have a
collection
book
of old
collection.
scrolls.
Perfect.
So I probably haven't even used the book collection because I've already got the scrolls, which are a +2 instead of a +1.
That leaves me at 3. I think we liked having the fancy wines. Do we want to do that again?
I love
Sure.
it.
Won't turn it down.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. I'll bring some fancy wines along, and then that'll be me.
Do
Fantastic.
you want Constance to
You can
carry
hold
the
on
wine?
to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
We'll
All right.
do fine wines, which were for 2, and I have 1 capital left over.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Robert, what about you?
Oh, I already spent my capital on a cooking pot for Horus.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Good stuff.
I imagine us packing all up on the train and stuff, and Constance is just like, you do realize we're going to investigate a religious mystery, and we're bringing a cannon. I have to say that
Yes.
one more
Don't
time.
think of
Just-
it as a cannon. On the way, you can pack all of your goods inside the cannon, and it is like a suitcase.
Right.
It is a multi-purpose iron
Yeah.
tube.
all right.
If your room is upstairs, we can get it up there faster.
Yes, it is very quick to transport goods vertically, but also, maybe there will be a cave that needs to be demolished. We have a big cannon.
Right.
Maybe we do get attacked by this creature. And also, if we cannot get August out of the house, at the end we can threaten the house with a big cannon. And he will say,
Yes.
well, I guess I shall leave and go to America.
All right. I just hope that's not our plan A. But all right. There's clearly no talking you out of it now. So here we go.
Fantastic. All right. You guys get your equipment. You're all prepped and ready to go. And you guys head off to start your travels. Now, you guys are getting ready to load your stuff, I imagine, up on a train because there's some railways that pass down that way.
Yep.
Scorching hot heat. You feel like you're swallowing the air. It's so thick and heavy and hot. And you find out, due to local fires and temperatures, the train lines are currently not running that direction. So your only option for transportation is by carriages. And you have 3 options. You have the basic line, which will cost an insignificant amount of money. You can take it. Doesn't look very comfortable. Pretty basic carriages that'll barely be able to haul that cannon your way. You can take moderate, where you can spend 1 capital to get a little bit more comfort, or you can take the premium line, which is not only a comfortable carriage, but also has some armed people to help protect the carriage, and it looks a bit more secured. That's 3 capital.
How much do we have left?
That's a great
I've got-
question.
I've got 2 on hand, 3 if I don't take the opera glasses that are a bit unnecessary. So I'm happy to leave my opera glasses to pay for this out of pocket. Or if you had some left, we could split the cost.
Let's split it. I have 1 left.
Well then, let's get ourselves back down to 0 capital each, and we get a fancy cart.
Hopefully, we don't need to buy anything.
Yeah, If we do, I can buy it with my resource rolls. I get to roll 8 dice
Yeah.
to buy things for free.
Perfection.
Fantastic. All right. You guys are packing your stuff up. You're loaded in a busy area of carriages. Uppsala is bustling around these places because the trains are down. All of the carriages are very busy. Galen, through a crowd, as you are prepping your carriage, you see a familiar face. You see watching from you, off in the background, but eyes clearly staring directly at you. You see Gregor. Why don't you tell us what Gregor looks like?
Well, I mean, depends on the day, I suppose.
Yeah, good. What does he look like
Gregor-
right now?
Gregor looks exactly the same as he did 35 years ago when I first met him. And he is just a beautiful, fair-haired, well-dressed, well-built man. Just exudes an air of being interesting, of being someone that you want to talk to, even if you hadn't met him. I'm sure people in the crowd are aware of him as well, but he looks like Gregor. He looks like he always
Excellent.
did.
And as you see him off in the distance, he's got that warm, charming smile that you remember. And as people pass in front of him and block your view briefly, the smile goes more to a neutral face. And then somebody passes by and it goes to a frown. And then another passerby crosses. And as that one crosses, he suddenly has the most sinister smile. He's staring at you from off in the distance. I need you to make me a fear check.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Fear check. I want to roll my fear. How do I roll my fear check? It's got to be a button somewhere.
And I believe
Are
you
we
guys
near?
are probably all together as you're loading up your carriage.
All right, I'm rolling the logic check,
Okay.
which is 5. Do I get a bonus of 3, or are they off doing other stuff?
Yep.
Am I taking this by myself?
You've you know what? Let's say that you've got 2 of them. At least one of them is probably busy. Maybe Robert's loading the carriage up or something.
All right, here we go. Rolling. Blub, 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 blub. Oh, 2 successes.
All right. That was a fear 2 roll. So you keep it together. And
Woo-hoo!
as that sinister smile catches your eye, the carriage goes rolling by, and as it passes by, Gregor is gone. I've exploited your dark secret, so make sure you keep that in mind when we do experience.
You all right, Galen?
Yes, I
Oh, it's not
So
that
I
girl
saw an
again,
old-
is it?
yes, I think maybe it is still taking some time to wear off this haunting. So I think I saw her in the crowd. Robert,
Yes.
maybe load the cannon,
Very well. I'm on it.
just as a precautionary measure.
One of the
Right.
guards, who's in a nice long black trench coat, kind of a tricorn hat, waves a hand in protest. If you're going to be riding on this carriage, we do not need a loaded cannon along the way. No offense.
Then secure the area. Clear these crowds. I don't need these people to be here. You clear these crowds.
Sir, we will assure your safety. I promise you.
Clear the crowds. And I
Why
hand
don't you
him
go
a
ahead and
big
why don't you
amount
go
of
ahead
money.
and
No, I'm bribing. I'm giving him more payment. I want him to clear these crowds.
you gonna give him a resource? Gonna give him a
I don't
capital?
really, you know what? Yeah, I'll give him something. I mean, I'm very rich. I just want to bribe this man.
Yeah, roll a resource roll.
I'll roll a resource roll.
And remember to include your modifier that's included for resource checks like this. They have a bonus or a penalty on the table for your resource score.
Oh, what is my bonus?
Basically, if you look poor, you're not going to get a bonus. If you look filthy rich, you are going to get a bonus.
Well, I'm only rolling 8 dice, aren't I?
You roll your resource roll, and then there is.
Oh, you roll manipulation.
Is it
And add a bonus
manipulation
based on your
plus?
standard.
That's
Yeah,
what it
it's
is.
manipulation plus. Okay, so I'm not rolling 8
That's
dice.
good to
I'm
know.
rolling.
Thank you.
Chum. I get a +5 on a manipulation roll.
Oh wow. Okay.
which is currently only a thing of 1. So it's actually only a 6 dice thing.
Cool.
But I got 2 more successes. I cannot
You
fail.
are on fire.
Have me roll everything
Yeah.
today. I've not yet failed anything.
Knock
All right.
on wood immediately.
Yeah, this strong bearded gentleman looks back to his female partner who's in the same type of uniform, long black trench coat. She's got a long blonde ponytail, kind of gives her an exasperated look, and she shrugs, and he starts shouting, "Everybody clear out. This area needs to be secured. We have a security threat. We're going to get this carriage out on the road. Everybody back away." And people kind of grunt and complain because it's already so crowded, and you guys get a nice big clear area to get your preparations done.
I'm immediately getting into the carriage and closing the door behind me.
I love it. All right.
Trina, has he seemed off to you? I mean, I thought the whole point of him changing his name to that was so that we wouldn't have whatever it is. I've never seen him react that way, though.
I do think that it is a little odd. However, I trust Galen. And Galen, I don't know how to pronounce his new name. Galan?
I don't think that
Glenn?
was it.
His name's Glenn.
All right. Well, I will speak to him about this.
Right.
Excellent. All right. You guys get everything loaded up. So mechanically, you guys are in a very comfy carriage that is also armored slightly, which if you were to be shot at or anything would provide bonuses. You guys also have 2 armed guards, which are going to be hunters armed with rifles. If you would have taken the non-comfortable route, you would have all taken a condition. This one is so comfortable. Everybody, if they have a condition, can heal one along the way.
Boom.
And then let's go ahead and do our advantages. So you guys set off and you get on the road. This carriage is so well insulated and comfortable. You can kind of escape the heat the best you've been able to in some time. What are you guys doing to prepare your advantages? And again, this is just, you can flashback, you can do it along the ride. You're just basically telling me one skill you want to get an advantage on, and you're telling me what you did to prepare for that skill.
And it can't be the same ones we picked last mystery.
Yes,
right?
cannot be the same advantage you picked last mystery. Thank you.
Ah, cool.
Which
So,
one did I pick last time?
You know what? I don't remember, to be honest with you. So do your best.
Okay.
Not pick the same one.
Someone go watch the VOD and tell us.
Yeah. Who wants to go first? I'll let you guys just go. Whoever feels ready to go for it.
I'll go. I
A
think
noble sacrifice.
I'll pick observation. And I think what Constance does the whole ride is watch Galen and gauge what the heck is going on with him, and continue to kind of poke and prod at this whole Gregor thing and sort of like gauge reactions and stuff like that. So
Okay.
she's just
like
kind
it.
of, she's practicing, she's warming up her observation skills.
Fantastic.
Well, I can
Observation is
tell
your
you what you
advantage.
see,
Sure.
Uh,
What do I see?
because it will be my advantage.
Aha.
So as you're observing Galen, you notice he is doing research, but not the sort of research you've seen before. He's not looking into Vaesen. He's like spending a lot of time sending letters, sending telegrams, contacting people across all of of Sweden, of Prague, of Denmark, just anywhere he can. And you also see, and maybe you feel a bit off about it, he's hiring investigators, quite a few, multiple investigators in multiple parts of the country, in various other countries, and you can catch some of the things that he's asking of them. Mostly asking them to look into certain men, he gives a few names. Gregor is one of the names, but he gives a whole series of other names that he was reading out of a notebook, names that he has known that Gregor has used in the past. He gives a description. One description matches the man we just saw, although you don't know that, you haven't seen him. Others match a sort of variation on that theme. Different men, different descriptions, different ways of different types of people to look out for, and he's giving these lists to investigators all across the country. And in doing so, I'm getting an advantage on my vigilance because I have people everywhere trying to let me know about the movements of various people. Ostensibly, I'm using this to keep track of Gregor, this mysterious man from my past who now appears, I'm worried, to be hunting me directly. But also, I'm asking for such detail that hopefully if I need to make a vigilance roll for other people, other things that are happening, I have people I can contact who are being like, someone's coming closer to where you're camped, or hey, I've been in this area, like I've been hanging out in the town. So I'm using it for a vigilance check at some point. But I've tried to build up a network of investigators across this area that we're leading to. To keep myself safe, but hopefully they'll help in something else as well.
Excellent. I love that. Fantastic. All right, go ahead and mark that advantage down. It has been done. Katrina.
All right. So I am actually also going to do vigilance. And the way I'm doing it is I'm training my dog, Odin. He was already trained, but we are not terribly familiar with each other yet. So I'm like going through like commands. This dog is so talented. He's got so many skills. So it takes me some time to learn how to use it appropriately. But this dog can give me bonuses to vigilance, close combat, and investigation.
Oh,
so,
what a talented dog.
Yeah, very talented dog. So Odin and I are just getting used to each other. I'm testing out commands and yeah, good times.
Oh, you got a pupper in that carriage?
Yeah, she's having a wonderful time, actually. This is probably the happiest she's ever been heading out onto a mystery.
I love that. That's great. Fantastic. Take that advantage.
Thanks.
All right, Robert, what do you got to prepare for?
So Robert, of course, has this little dose of strong poison that he might need to be ready to use. So I imagine that every now and then during the ride, he's going to practice palming things and looking natural as he's doing it, so that it won't be obvious if he were to incorporate, like dropping a little bit into some substance or something like that. And also, I feel like he's also, since he did receive the order from his lord, he's going to be every now and then maneuvering one of the cannonballs just a little bit closer to the cannon, and trying his best to
Shiki.
Yes. and he's gonna try to sneakily load the cannon, unbeknownst to the guards. But I imagine like the process of doing so every now and then will probably get caught, and it's like, okay, moving like this is too conspicuous. I have to do it like this. And so yeah, he's getting ready and he's building up his stealth for his advantage.
I love that. Fantastic. All right. So your journey from Uppsala is long, goes by the stagecoach through the darkness of the Kolmarden forest and across the windswept East Gothland plains. Notably, the further south that you all get, your brief comfort from the heat is just destroyed. It is so unbearably hot, and it seems to just get worse and worse the further south you get, to the point where probably your first day into this trip, even at nighttime, there's not relief. The clouds fall over the sky and it gets dark, and it is still scorching hot. There's just no end to it. So yeah, it's pretty miserable. Your first day passes by like that, and you guys are going into your early morning along the road, heading down to the Herod Ironworks. And suddenly your carriage comes to a stop. And your two armed escorts sit on top of the carriage. There's kind of like a little bunkered area for them to sit on top as the coachman drives the coach. And you hear the coachman, "Whoa, hold up. We've got an obstruction in the road. Everybody sit tight for just a moment. Got a fallen tree." And you hear that same armed guard that you were talking to earlier. He shouts down, "Everybody make sure you stay put. Keep the windows shut. This is looking a bit suspicious."
Constance wants to get out and not stay put.
You gonna get out of the carriage?
Connie,
What?
do you really think that's the best? And you're probably like, out.
Yes, I shout what like over my shoulder as I'm getting out. I want to look around. I want to use my new
Fantastic.
talent, Sixth Sense. I want to see if I want to investigate this.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. So you roll an investigation, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get out of the carriage. One of the guards on top says, "Ma'am, I don't think that's wise. Please get back in the carriage." Go ahead and roll your investigate.
Yeah, she's just like, "Shh, I'm working." No.
Oh my
was
god.
Working hard, you're hardly working.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna push because that's embarrassing.
All right.
I'm gonna push with some of those blessed dice.
How many? You got 7 of them. They will
There's
carry
also-
over to next session, but yeah, you got a
I'll
bunch.
take
3
We have
cursed.
3 cursed.
Yes.
you. I'm
We've
not
got-
taking those.
got-
I've taken so many cursed dice tonight.
I'm just
you guys.
saying,
You can take
make them
them.
look so good.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
exactly.
but
I
you
don't think
can
you should-
take them.
Just chill.
I'm taking
Don't worry about
3. I'm taking 3 blessed dice. Here we go. 11 dice. Bill over there's taking all the successes. All
You
right.
just rolled 19 dice and didn't
Not
get
a
a single
single six.
success.
Not a single 6 in all of that.
Woo.
All right. Well, I will take. Oh, what do I see? I know I don't get hints, but what's the situation here?
All right, so you hop out of the carriage. You can see that the coachman is
Wait,
moving.
hang on. Will you let me use my magnifying glass, which lets me have 1 bonus? Can I roll 1 more dice and see if it's a success?
I would love you to roll 1 more d6. Make it an even 20.
All right.
Oh my
There we go.
goodness
Wait a second.
gracious.
One last time. Okay.
I still don't see anything.
Still don't see anything.
Fantastic. Get the magnifying glass out. So, yeah, you can see that there is a fallen tree around in front of the path of the carriage. The coachman is currently trying to shove it out of the way. He looks like he is not able to budge the tree, so he's now unhitching one of the horses and trying to get the tree latched up to move it out of the way. The area around here is pretty ugly. Looks like it was once a pretty lush farmland, but the surrounding area is just dead and yellowed now from the heat. In fact, you see an abandoned farm probably off in the distance with just some dead livestock that look like they've been abandoned. And there are little clusters of trees around the area. And the 2 guards are on top of the carriage. They currently have muskets looking around at the ready. And one of them suddenly seems to pop to attention. And you see him take at a cluster of trees. And he says, "Halt! Who goes there?" And you hear a figure respond from those trees. And you see a musket aimed from around the trees as well. "All right, everybody, your coin or your lives? Your choice. This doesn't have to get messy." "Madam, get back in the carriage. These are brigands." "I'm going to count back to 3. And if your arms aren't laid down..." "Oh my God, is that a cannon? They've got a cannon! Get them!"
Oh,
And we're gonna roll initiative next session. We'll go ahead and we will wrap there.
yikes. Okay.
Constance,
I-
get out of the carriage. You will see that 5 figures step out surrounding the
Oh
carriage.
my
off in the
gosh.
distance.
All right. Well, I'm taking angry as my mental condition. Because I think actually what happened, this is not what the dice said, but 20 dice. What happened is Constance didn't have enough time to investigate thoroughly because these stupid brigands came poking out of the trees and everything and started shouting about cannons. So she was like just starting to get into like the zone, you know, and like looking at things,
Started to feel a little something.
Yeah, starting to make connections, and then our stupid bodyguards were like, "Oh, there's something in the trees. Get back in the carriage." And then the guys were like, "Oh, well, what?" Yeah. So she's mad. Which
I
is not
love that. I like how you flavor your thing to the situation. That's very good. Let me kind of just give you guys a little example of what this is going to look like. So again, our maps we're using pretty loosey-goosey. We're not doing like hex maps or anything, but basically all of you guys, including your hunters, are in the same space. You're in the same zone, so you're all close to each other. And I don't know why I'm putting...
I am so curious
Don't
why
even-
their name is
don't
Or
even-
Boys.
Don't even
Who's
worry
Or
about them.
Boys? They sound cute.
So there's basically a star pattern of brigands around you. They're all currently 2 zones away from you. Most of them are in cover. All of you are in cover of the armored carriage, so basically you can take a bonus fast action to take cover against gunfire if you're in the carriage. Constance, in this first round, you are not going to be in the carriage because you got out. And you have 2 hunters armed with muskets to help you fight, if you choose to fight.
Cool.
Cannon
Great.
kind of
Good,
provoke
good.
the fight.
This sounds perfect. Can't wait for next week. Definitely not
Yeah.
gonna obsess about this
Good
for
thing
a long
we brought
time.
a cannon.
Yeah.
Very glad so far. Good thing it's
Alright.
loaded.
We need that
Oh,
cannon.
yeah. I'm ready. Ready to shoot this thing.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, chat, for hanging out. I did see, I think it was Exeter commenting on the 2,000 cap towards our goals. I don't think there's a way to get rid of it, but if anybody is a Twitch savant and knows how to remove the cap on the community goals, let me know. We are the goals are going to continue on throughout the mystery, kind of like they did last time. So they end today, but I'm just going to extend them next week so that we have them going for the stream, so you guys can continue to contribute towards those. Looks like we got 41% of the way towards the ally and 35% of the way towards the adversary. So pretty split, but ally is winning so far. Yeah, and thank you so much, everybody, for the contributions, for the chatting. We saw some new names around here. Fantastic to see you guys all. Let's go ahead and give one more shout out to our players we had today because they did fantastic. It was a blast. Bill, why don't you mention where people can find you on the internet? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Bill. I'm a podcaster. Go check out Escape This Podcast. Go check out Solve This Murder. Check out Tom Scott's new podcast, Lateral. I'm on that a few times. So check that out as well. And as a fun fact, this is the coat of arms of Smelandia, wherever we are. This is their coat of arms.
Oh.
Apparently it's
Fascinating.
like a lion with a crossbow. So there you go.
Maybe
I'd be
that's the
terrified.
Vaesen.
Maybe
Oh,
these are the
snap.
brigands.
Ooh.
Could be. They're lion
So yeah, go
brigands.
check that stuff out. It's good fun. It's all my stuff.
Fantastic. Fun as always, Bill. Thank you. Em and Tori, you guys want to tag team yourselves in the Level 1 Geek crew?
Corey, take care of it.
Okay. I'm Tori and that's Em, and we are 2 parts of the Level 1 Geek crew. We play here and sometimes guest on other channels. In fact, this Thursday I will be guesting over on Guild Superior in their longtime D&D campaign. I am playing an NPC. Well, I will be a PC, obviously, but an NPC who has existed in the game for some time and I'm now taking on that role. She is a badass, like, battle cleric who wants to be a hero of the people. And anyway, I will be doing my best to do her justice. So come hang out on Thursday evening if you would like. I will post in our Discord when that is going live, so you guys can hang out with me on Thursday if you like.
Sounds
The
like a
only
great
thing
time.
I have to add is that next week, not this week, next Wednesday, I will be back on Victory Condition Gaming playing Merkberge. Gotta get that Morkborg in. It's also an amazing game, and I want to see how many characters I can wood chipper through.
Nice.
As is the way of Morkborg. Fantastic. Yeah, thank both of you. Always a good time, our fun little level 1 geek family. Matt, why don't you tell us about you and where you can be found on the internet?
My name is Matt. You can find me everywhere as Improv and D&D. And well, tomorrow night I'll be playing over on High Shelf Collective in a little charity game, a one-shot of Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna be playing
Fantastic.
a little steamy scoundrel.
That's awesome. I love that game. I ran that game for a local gaming store. We had a convention down here and I ran it, and it is so fun. Such a fun game.
Nice. Hell
Always a
yeah.
pleasure to have you, Matt. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm
you.
Chase, also with Level 1 Geek. Katie in the background is also part of Level 1 Geek. She did a great job keeping up on all your chat interactions. You guys were hot tonight, throwing them out. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks, Katie, for keeping that running. We are going to be back with Vaesen next week, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. Am I forgetting about anything, crew? Are we coming back? We fighting Brigands next Monday?
Brigands next Monday.
Brigands next Monday. Fantastic. Or maybe we'll talk Brigands down. I don't want to assume how you're going to handle this. You know, seems a little
Yes.
dire, but you never know. Also, if you guys want to catch up with this series, if you missed part of tonight, if you missed past episodes, we have this up on YouTube. We're trying to grow over on YouTube, and we've been doing a pretty good job of keeping this series up to date. So, even if you guys watch tonight, if you guys just love us a lot, if you wouldn't mind going over to YouTube, drop a subscription, drop a like, drop a comment to feed that algorithm. If you watch tonight, just go comment and say, I was there the moment that Johan changed his name. I was there live.
Oh.
Let us know. Feed the algorithm. We would super appreciate it. And yeah, we just appreciate you guys all the time. Thanks for always showing up. This has been a blast so far. I think that's all we've got for tonight. Another shout out to Knights of Estelle. Check out their app NPC for Hire. Big thank you for them giving us some character art. And yeah, that will be all for tonight, everybody. Go take a long rest. Enjoy the moment of winter where you don't have heat waves like our NPC, like where our PCs are currently going through. Unless you live in a hot climate, then I'm sorry that you have constant heat waves. And stay hydrated. And we will catch you guys next week.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.